The Horrible Gamers podcast may contain content not suitable for all ages. Listener discretion is advised.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Horrible Gamers podcast, show number 451, being recorded on March 11, 2024. I am one of your hosts, Jesus Gonzalez, also known as Jesus Walkstop. Today, I'm joined by my co-host from the West Coast to Best Coast, Buddy Chief Henley Merrill is here. Welcome, Henley. Welcome.
Thank you, buddy. It's good to be here. It's good to be back again, talking about games.
It's good to be back. Yeah, you're right. And from Little Big Ohio, the Mayo is also back. Welcome back, Mayo. Steve Willier, welcome.
Hey guys, how's it going? Yep,
It's
big
going.
little old Ohio.
It's
You
big
know-
How's Ohio?
and
Is Ohio
little.
cold? Is it cold out there?
I feel like
It's
always
not
cold in
bad.
Ohio.
It's like in the 50s right now, I think, on
That
average,
ain't
I'd say.
shit. That ain't shit. It's in the 50s here all the time, too.
Yeah, see?
So we're fine. We're the same.
Over here in
pretty much.
sunny California,
So
60s.
our big news here, we've been talking about here, was it like in April? I think it's the same day of my boy's birthday. I think on April 8th, we're like the prime spot for the solar eclipse this year, I guess.
Ohio is a
They got-
solar eclipse spot?
Yeah, they show like the trajectory, and it's gonna be like just north of Columbus, but they're selling T-shirts already. They're wearing like glasses. They're talking about bringing people into Columbus for this event, I guess.
Fuck out of here, really?
The one that where some of
Yeah.
those the flights are already booked up so they can see it.
Yeah, I don't know for sure, but yeah, they've been talking about it in the news, and they're saying it's gonna be like a complete like solar eclipse, basically.
Oh, yeah, I'm looking at the path right now. It's going to happen on April 8th.
Yeah, and that's my boy's birthday actually. So
It says April 8th, 100% eclipse, Mayo, going right over your area, and it goes like, see, I'm looking at the map. Let's look at the map here.
I think the 100% eclipse is just north of Columbus here, but we'll definitely.
Are you
get
going
some
up there? Are you
effect of
taking
it.
the Camaro up there?
I don't know. We might drive a little north and go see it. They're selling glasses so you can look at it and everything too. You know, 'cause they
You don't
want
need
looking
glasses
at
for
it.
that. Isn't that where the
Yeah,
moon
come on.
passes in front of the sun? Just
Yeah.
squint. That's all you need to do.
Yeah. You see me in glasses the following week like you guys. I'll be like, oh.
I've been blind for a week.
It'll be like,
supposed
let's see, what time is it going to hit your
You could just
area?
use a redneck device, which is like the toilet paper roll. Then you put something like piece of paper over it and you cut a hole in it, little pinhole.
Sounds like a plan.
Then just tape those to your eyeballs. You wear two of them.
Yeah, man, I'm looking at your shit right here. It says that the eclipse will be right over your area around like noon or 1.
Yeah.
It says
You'll have to
12.
film it. Get the GoPro going.
Listen,
Yeah,
man.
get the GoPro up,
No,
get the camera out.
that shit is a trip, dude. A few years ago, back in, what was it? Was it 2020 when the eclipse passed through over Oregon? They did the same shit here, right? They were selling all those stupid fucking glasses and shit, and like T-shirts, and fucking people were flying in from like all over the world to watch this shit.
Yeah, that's what they
It
were
was-
saying. It was going to happen here.
It was a trip, dude. No, man, we went outside, and literally for about a minute or two, everything kind of went a little dark. It was kind of weird. It doesn't go like pitch black like you would think. It doesn't go like nighttime, but it does seem like it's nighttime. But it's not like complete darkness like you.
Is
would
it is
think,
it just minutes or something that occurs? I don't know if
yeah.
you've ever really truly experienced one.
When it happened here? It was only for like a minute or two that it was total darkness or whatever. It was like
Yeah, it'll probably be like darkish and then get a little darker and darker as it covers
Yeah,
it up
yeah.
more and more.
yeah,
And the
exactly,
complete
yeah.
eclipse. And then as it moves away, it'll probably lighten up, you know.
Yeah, that's exactly what happens. Yeah, and it happens for like maybe a few minutes. Maybe I would say at most maybe 5 minutes, but probably faster than that. And
I think I've been part of one before, but not like so much where it affects like right over top of Ohio, like where the path is supposed
Yeah.
to be, where we've caught like a little bit of one, but this one's supposed to be like direct effect, direct shadow.
Yeah,
of it, so.
but they're saying that the reason you're not supposed to look directly at it without you probably can look at it, with your eyes, and it probably would be like whatever, but you could burn like a hole in your fucking eyeball from the sunlight. Like it could burn like a hole in your fucking
Damn.
your retina
do
or
it, Mayo.
whatever. Just
No,
do it,
don't
man.
use toilet paper.
Just go, bro. Just fucking go out there and look right at
Use the
sun.
toilet paper roll.
Yeah, use the toilet paper roll on a camera, right?
Yeah. Yeah, you should just look directly at it, man. Just stand outside and look at the sun till it happens.
Get the telescope out, right?
Yeah, stare right at the sun for 3
with a
minutes
telescope, would
straight.
that be better or worse? What about binoculars?
Maybe if it was like one of those telescopes that like I don't know, maybe like like has like a with transition lens on it or something.
Yeah.
Like maybe it'll be okay. I don't know, but no, man. Yeah, it was a trip. I remember when it happened here a few years ago, and it was kind of cool, man. I don't remember when I thought it was 2020, but maybe it was before 2020.
They were
Maybe it
saying
was
this will
20.
be the last one for like so drastic for here, like probably in my lifetime. Like they were saying, like probably like late, maybe another 80 years or so will be the
I
next
think they
one.
said. I think they said the next one for Oregon would be in like the year 2055 or some shit. Like literally, when I'm fucking dead, probably it's gonna happen. I probably won't be dead, but if
Yeah, I
I
say
die, I will.
2055, you'll be Gunny's age.
I probably won't be dead, but if I die, I'll be dead.
I'll be in the nursing home on a Steam Deck too.
Sonny, you're gonna be way beyond dead, bro.
Oh,
2055, you'll be like 200 years old.
damn. Man, I would be old,
Yeah.
wouldn't I? When's
Yeah,
Haley's
baby.
Comet coming back around? I probably am going to miss it this time.
Haley, is that supposed to come back around again?
Yeah, I think my kid's going to see it, but not me. It's every 80 years, isn't it?
Visible from Earth every 75 to 79 years. It last appeared in 1986.
Oh, yeah.
It will next
I was a
appear.
kid.
It will next appear in mid 2061.
Damn.
Hey man, it'll
Yeah.
almost be cyberpunk year by then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
15 years
2077.
away
That would be
from.
trip if it came out 2077.
That'll be a fucking 16 years off from 2077. So yeah,
Can you
man.
imagine that? I mean, my son just over there, he's holding like up a disc and going, my dad used to play this on a thing called an Xbox.
And he's an old man himself.
Yeah.
Oh shit, that's crazy, dude.
We used to have consoles when I was a little boy. Yep. That would be something.
Back in my day, we built PCs. We just didn't call it a PC.
We had
And we
these
used to-
monitors. They were a monstrosity of things. Now we just use our retina,
Yeah, now we use our eyeballs just to look at everything.
brain implants.
Yeah, no shit. That's crazy though. 2061. That's a long time from now, Gunny. How old will you be in 2061, Gunny?
Oh my gosh. Let's see. Man,
Just
what is
quick
that?
math.
How many
Do like
years
40
from now
do
is
like
that?
40 years. Just quick math. Do 40
Is
years.
that 40 years?
It's a little less.
40
than
years?
but
Yeah, I'll be 92. I might make it. Might make it to 92.
I'll be around 70 years old if I live that long. I don't know, man. At this rate, I don't know, guys. I don't know if I'll live that long. I'll probably be long dead by then. It's crazy. Anyways, welcome to the show, people. We're here to talk about video games. You can follow us on Twitter @_horriblegamers. Leave us a review on Apple Podcasts and any platform you listen to the show on. You can also find us on Spotify, iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio, Pandora Radio, and wherever else you may find podcasts, including Audible Podcast and whatever the fuck else. I mean, we're literally everywhere, right? Like, where are we
Undercast,
not?
Overcast, every podcast app you can think of.
We are everywhere.
YouTube.
Gunny. Everywhere. There's nowhere we are not there. We're everywhere. So go find us and share us with your friends and family. And join our Facebook group, Horrible Gamers Podcast Community, as a close group. So that means anything you post in that group stays in that group. That means your friends don't see it. Your wife doesn't see it. Your girlfriend doesn't see it. Your brother doesn't see it. Your cousin doesn't see it. Whatever you post in there stays in there. It is a private group. And yeah, so go join it. And also to the people that add people to the group, right? So sometimes I get this where people add people to the group. And I get that you're adding your friends to the group, but we won't accept them if they don't answer the questions. So if your friends don't answer the questions to the group, then they get rejected and they don't get accepted into the group because I think they're a bot or something, you know, or I think they're not a real person. I think they're like a fake profile or something, you know? So I'm just like, nope, this person doesn't get accepted and they don't get into the group. That means they stay out of the group and they don't see what's in the group. So if you want your friends to join the group, make sure you tell them to join and answer the questions.
We don't know if it's a spying wife or not.
Yeah, like a crazy ex-girlfriend trying to spy on you or something. We don't know who it is. So we don't accept them. So for that reason, if you want to join the group, make sure you answer all the questions and then we'll accept you. Also, big shout out to the Patreon machines that support the show with the monies, like our friend Jason Sams, Robert Noble, Chad, Henley M, Pork Chop Poo, Nipron, the best HGP host ever, Evan Big Daddy Tanaka, all in caps, big letters. Shout out to Evan. And Bill Gardner, second of his name. Shout out to Billy. Also, quick note for the people out there looking to buy a house. Billy is selling his house. I've been to his house, Mayo, once,
Mhm.
and it is a real house. It's not like a cardboard box, okay? I know prime real estate. It's cardboard boxes out here in Portland, but Billy actually has a house, and he's selling it. So if you're looking to buy a house, hit up Billy because he has the houses. Now he's a house flipper. He used to,
Right? He used to flip
used to-
consoles. Now he's flipping houses.
yeah, he used
Yeah,
to
he
flip.
upgraded.
Yeah, he used to flip all the PS5s and Steam Decks. Now he
Flipping
now he's just flip,
accessories and yeah. Might as well flip
now,
the house. Why
now
not?
he's flipping houses. Well, he's gonna buy a house and be like, "Hey guys, I just got this new house, but I'm selling it. I'm selling it right now. Just $50,000 more than I paid for. That's it. That's all I want." So but yeah, go find Billy if you want to buy a house in Portland area. I wouldn't say really it's Portland.
It's like a
more
suburb?
it's more like Oregon City, but I think it is technically considered maybe Portland, but really it kind of really isn't. It's one of them the fake Portlands. It's not
fake
real Portland. Yeah, man, because like Portland is Portland, Oregon. If you've ever been to Portland, there's Portland, but then there's fake Portland, which is like all the little shit attached to Portland, like
That's the same thing with
like Beaverton is fake Portland. Fucking Gresham is fake Portland. Fucking all these little stupid fucking little towns attached close to it. They're all fake Portland. They're connected to it, really, but they're not part of Portland.
That's the same thing with Sean Fuller with Fresno.
Here,
He doesn't live in Fresno. He lives in fake Fresno.
So he's telling me this whole time he's lived in Fresno. He don't even live in Fresno.
No, he lives in fake Fresno. I even forgot the name of it, but you can pull the map up. But you're like, it's like a neighborhood.
Yeah, so we're over here thinking I am just like some fucking thug living in Compton, and he lives in some fucking suburb like Beverly Hills or Fresno.
Yeah, pretty much.
What it is?
It's the ghetto.
That fucking guy.
Of Fresno.
He's been lying to me. Oh, he lives in the ghetto of Fresno? Okay. Well, he lives in the ghetto of Fresno, then it counts. Okay, I thought he was telling me.
It depends on what your electricity bill says, right? If it says Fresno, it says Fresno. If it says Portland, it's Portland. But there's more numbers after that. Zip code.
There's fake Portland and then there's real Portland. Okay. I think he lives in a part called Milwaukee, and that's like fake Portland.
Not real. Isn't that Wisconsin? Come on. Sounds fake.
I'm gonna look it up right now. Billy, I'm gonna give out his address. I'm gonna give out his address live on the show. Where does he live?
Right, he's got to say he lives in a suburb of Portland. Got to be technical.
He lives in Milwaukee. Put that up real quick on the map. See, looking it up on the map.
Where's Newburgh?
There's Portland, and then Milwaukee's like south of Portland. It's not really Portland, all right? It's fake Portland, dude. It's a little bit above Oregon City and above Lake Oswego, so it's a fake Portland. That's what it is.
Do you really want to live central in the city, though? Come on.
Fuck, no, you don't. Portland sucks, dude. Honestly, to the people that want to live in Portland fucking sucks. It's it's not a shitty city, but it really kind of is.
So the news is right? When they report on bad things that go down over there? Kind of like San Francisco?
Dude, your car will get broken into like a lot in Portland. If you leave your car on the street, man, and you leave like any like wire hanging, like a charging phone cable wire.
Yeah.
Or like anything that looks of value in your car, like a backpack, a fucking book bag, anything that looks like it could hold something valuable in your car.
That's any big city. Like
your car is gonna have a broken ass window, and you're gonna walk out and be like, "What the fuck?" And it's gonna be fucking glass all over your seat, glass all over the sidewalk, and you're gonna be like, "What the fuck?"
So you can't have the Camaro there, huh?
You can, but it might get broken into.
Yeah.
What about tinted windows? Are your windows tinted, Mayo?
What's that, Gunny?
Are your windows tinted? So when you have the big Best Buy bags in there,
they are tinted a little bit.
Probably still get broken into just because it's tinted.
Yeah.
So
the Camaro theft is on the rise right now. Actually, I've been seeing.
Yeah, they stole one from my neighborhood, Mayo. I saw it in my Nextdoor app.
Is it the new Kia boys? Are they the Camaro boys now?
It's something like, from my understanding, they're copying the because they're push button start. Okay. So they're copying the signal from the key fob with some device, and they basically extend the range so they can pick it up from your house if your keys are by your door. they can copy the signal from through the walls of your house.
Whoa.
And transmit it to the car, and they can just open your door and start the car and drive away in it.
Damn.
Wow.
That's crazy. Mine's got the push start button on both my vehicles.
Yeah, it's pretty common nowadays. I mean, I don't know if it's just new technology or it's because they quit making them or what, but yeah, they're on the rise.
Yeah, I saw a thing with like a thing on, I don't know if it was Facebook or whatever the fuck, Instagram or something, but one of those reels where they were talking to a dude that does that for like a living. He steals cars, and the news was like talking to him like they were talking to like some fucking like some specialist or something, like, oh, we're here with this guy and he steals cars for a living. He's gonna show us how fast it is to steal a car. And they show him literally, he's like, look how easy it is. And he walks up to the car, dude, and he'll have a laptop and he'll be standing in somebody's driveway for like 20 seconds with this laptop, and then he'll pick up the signal from their fob in their house.
Yeah.
And then he starts up the car. And he could be like, I could do this with any car. Because like, I could do it with the Mercedes, with an Audi, with the fucking anything, dude, anything. Like I think he stole like for the news, they had like an Audi parked outside or something. And he was able to turn it on in like 30 seconds. Like literally, he just got up there with his laptop, did whatever the fuck he did, and it copied the fob, and he was able to hit the shit on the keyboard, and it fucking started the car up, dude. And he drove off with it. And then on fucking the other one that I saw was the one with all those cars, the Range Rovers, the new ones.
Yeah, those are expensive.
Apparently those are even easier to steal than anything, because as long as you get in the car and you can get underneath it and like pull this little fucking, like you pull like some fucking box from underneath the steering wheel, you plug in this device, and then you put the fob next to the fucking key thing or whatever where the car starts. The car automatically thinks that you're trying to make a new key, and it'll make a new key for you. So as long as you have an empty fob, the car will automatically just make the key for you, and then you just have a brand new key for the car, and then you just drive off with it. Like,
yeah.
Like there's nothing even to it. You don't even have to hack the fucking shit. The shit just works, dude. Like, I'm like, what the fuck?
I think that was a issue with the Kia. Was it Kia for a couple years ago? I think they were just so easy to steal.
That was something else they were using, I think.
They were using weren't they like breaking the key thing off and like using like a USB stick or something?
Yeah, it was something like to do with a USB stick.
That's it.
Yeah, I watched the video on that too. Some kid did it where they ran into a Kia. They broke off the panel for the steering wheel, and the key thing came off, and they just stuck a USB charger in there and turned it, and the fucking thing fit. Because the little once, like where the key goes into the ignition, where it goes past the key, right, where the key goes into it, and it goes past that. All that is behind that is like a little rectangle looking box, and that's what actually you could turn that whole thing, and it turns on the car. So they just stick like a USB thumb drive in there, like a charger or whatever that's like a USB shape, and then you turn the fucking thing and it turns the car on and you drive off with it. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
How do you think a car would be that easy to steal? Like, it's fucking crazy to me. But yeah, man.
You would think technology would catch up. I'm sure with some manufacturers, but
the crazy part to me is that a lot of these times people, when they steal these cars, I don't know how they do it, but they end up stripping them for all the parts. And I think to myself, where are all these parts going? Right? Like where is all the parts of a fucking car going that they could strip everything off the motherfucker?
Well, I think like with my car,
and nobody gets caught.
A lot of the ZL1s are getting stolen, and that's the supercharged Camaros. And even if I go to Marketplace, I'll see a bunch of superchargers on there for sale. Like, it's different. You got to buy a conversion for my car, but you'll see ZL1 superchargers on there for like $2,000.
Huh.
Maybe the catalytic converters are probably but I guess that would be only a piece of the car, right?
Yeah, I guess the ZL1s are doing the motors and stuff, and then the other cars are stripping them down for body parts and stuff too, and then just probably
my buddy had his car stolen, and the car was completely gone, dude. I mean, when they found the car, Mayo, it was the fucking frame of the car, dude.
Damn.
I mean, literally, his car was like pretty nice condition. He had it since like 2014 or something, and it was like a Ford Fiesta or something, but it was like the ST version. It was pretty nice. It was a nice little car, but he kept it really nice, and he kept it looking pretty new the whole time. And one day he left his keys in his fucking door in his house. Someone stole his fucking car, right? Obviously. But when they found it like 4 weeks later, they found it like in Portland somewhere. of course. They found it in fucking Portland, but the car was stripped of everything, dude. It had no wheels, it had no seats, it had no dash, no anything, none of the interior, the doors, the windows, the motor.
It was a carcass on cinder blocks, right?
It literally was like just the frame of the fucking car was left with like, that's it. And I'm like, where the hell did all those parts go, dude? I'm like, there has to be some body shop around here buying all that shit, no? Or like, because how the fuck do you get rid of all those parts?
Yeah. And you figure, so before like so much like the internet stuff, Jesus, I remember I was watching a report where like a lot of cars that were stolen, just like in California in general, because there's only, 40 million of them here, or probably more than that. But then they were just like, I think they were loading them on a boat or just driving over the border into Mexico.
Oh,
Because
really?
you can just drive over. I don't know if people know that. You can just freely just zoom through there. And then it's gone. Like after that, like Mexico's not going to do anything about it. Like the news was saying, insurance companies were like, yeah, like once it goes there, that's it. We don't even let people with insurance. We don't even recommend they go there because if your car gets into an accident or something. But yeah,
I saw this guy who he had a GPS tracker on his fucking Suburban, and someone stole it, and he tracked that shit to Dubai, dude.
Damn.
Oh wow.
He's like no, he's like, when I had the GPS on, I tracked her from the East Coast to the West Coast, and it was at the port of Los Angeles, like at the fucking dock. And I called the fucking LAPD, and they went there, and I told the police officer, "You're standing right in front of my car," and the cop was like, "Where is it?" Like, I'm here.
In a container, maybe?
It's just a bunch of containers sitting here, and the fucking car took off to the middle of the ocean and disappeared off the GPS. And then it picked up the GPS in Europe or some shit in the Middle East, and then ended up in Dubai. And he was able to track it down to some fucking like some used car lot in Dubai or something, and it was being sold as a used car. I'm like, what the fuck, dude?
It's gone.
Like, your car is gone, man. Like, how the fuck? Yeah, that's crazy. I'm like, oh, that's fucking nuts that shit works like that. But yeah. Anyways, enough of stolen cars. Let's talk about video games that we've been playing this week, Mayo.
GTA. All right.
Yeah.
The last 2 weeks.
That's what I was thinking.
I've been playing just really Helldivers, man. Helldivers is still going. Still going pretty strong.
2?
Yeah, Helldivers 2. Good amount of players still playing. Been playing that quite a bit. So the cool thing about it now, they added mechs to the game, and that was kind of a cool little update. So what they did is they added like a planet to the robot side of the universe of the galaxy where you were fighting the robots, because you have the aliens that you're fighting, and then you're also fighting the automatons, which are the robots. And apparently they added like a new, like a sector was unlocked on the automaton side, and that sector added a planet where if the players or the community liberated that planet, you would get the ability to get not automatons, but mechs or whatever as a stratagem for everyone. So what happened is, of course, as soon as they announced that, everybody went to that fucking planet and started fighting the robots. And pretty soon after, it was liberated, and now we have mechs to call in or whatever as a stratagem. Now I don't know if that planet ever falls again if we lose the mechs. It might happen. I don't know. But as of right now, you get one mech. Just on your standard loadout, you can get one mech per match, but everyone gets the one mech per match as long as you're above level 25. So if you're above level 25, you get I think everyone just gets it, actually. Because I was playing with lower level people and they had one. So I think everyone who plays gets one mech per match automatically. But then once you reach level 25, you can unlock the stratagem for the mech. And that allows you to drop multiple mechs onto a match. So I think it gives you like 2 or 3 of them per match if you have the stratagem. But it is by far the most expensive stratagem to use and to buy in the game, because it costs 20,000 credits or whatever to buy the stratagem. And I just bought it the other day because I was able to do enough matches to earn the credits to buy it. So I bought it and I have it now for the future. But I don't really use it because the fact that you get one free one during the match is kind of like, do I want to use up one of my airstrike slots for another 2 or 3 mechs or whatever? I don't know if it's really worth it. So I just keep the one mech and have a bunch of airstrikes or whatever with me.
So when you say mechs, like I have not seen it. So is this a mech suit you get into, or is it just AI generated mech that fights alongside you like a companion?
No. So they come in, you drop it on the map like any little beacon, like in Helldivers 2. You drop it on the map, and then the little sphere blinks, and then a little drop ship flies in, and it drops off a mech off the bottom of it, and then you hop into the mech, and then you can walk around and shoot things. It comes attached with a machine gun that has, I think, 1,000 rounds, and then you have missiles on it also. The missiles are pretty powerful, and you have like I think maybe 15 missiles or 16 missiles, something like that. It's a low number of missiles, but with those 1,000 bullets, you can kill quite a bit of enemies. You know, if you just stand in one spot and kind of defend an area, if you want to defend an area like your extraction point or whatever, like one of those escort the civilians to the evacuation zone, and you're holding down a little area, it's kind of helpful to use. Um, so kind of a word of advice though for people playing, the mech does blow up if you take enough damage either from the robots fighting you or the aliens killing you or whatever fighting you, or like your own teammate shoots a rocket at you, or a fucking turret shoots at you because it's trying to shoot the bug that's in front of you and you're standing right in the way and it shoots at you. Your mech will blow up and you will die. Like it's just gonna blow up and you're gonna die.
Can you exit the mech at any time, the suit?
Yeah, you can just press E to exit. You press E to enter. And if like say you are fighting and like someone drops in a supply and you walk under the thing that drops from the sky, your mech will blow up. Also, if somebody lands on you, if they're respawning, your mech will also blow up. So there's a lot of downsides to the mech blowing up, but the mech is also pretty fucking badass, and it makes you kind of feel invincible for a minute. Because it could take out all the big bugs pretty easily. And even like the big heavy ones, not that I haven't fought a Biotitan with it yet, but I fought like all the chargers and the big spitter guys. It could take all of those out pretty good. Now the charger guy, he has a lot of armor, so you're gonna need missiles to take him out. So if you somehow used up all your missiles and that fucker shows up, you might be a little screwed because he's pretty big and he'll rush you and he'll ram you in your mech. But if you have missiles, I think 2 or 3 missiles can kill him. If you direct hit him with 2 or 3, he goes down pretty quick. But yeah, other than that, it's been a lot of fucking Helldivers 2. Just a lot of Helldivers 2, man. Been trying to liberate these fucking bug planets. Because somehow we be fighting these bugs, right? And we push them back from a sector, and the very next day, they're like 2 sectors pushed us back 2 sectors. It's like, how the fuck? We just fought these guys forever and pushed them back off this sector. Now they're back in this 2 sectors now. Like, I don't know. Like, they're getting pretty close to Earth in the game. So I don't know what happens if they reach Earth. I don't know if we like fail. Like
The game did shuts down. Game over.
The
for
servers
everyone.
were shut down, locked.
Earth blew up.
Game's
you guys
over.
are all dead. Game's
Delisted.
over. Yeah, game's
Right.
delisted. We're taking it offline now, guys. We're shutting the servers down. I don't know what happens if they reach.
Wait for
Super Earth.
Helldivers 3 to come out. Yeah.
But they've added also new things to the game. So they did some balance changes to the weapons. They noticed that some people were running a meta build or whatever, which is like certain types of guns and stratagems and equipment to use in a match. And they kind of nerfed all the ones that they saw people were using quite a bit. So they nerfed my favorite gun, which was a shotgun. It was called the Breaker, I think. That thing was pretty beast mode, man, and everyone kind of used that gun because it was pretty reliable and very powerful to kill like a lot of things. And they nerfed the hell out of it. But they've also said that the nerfing shouldn't really like disencourage you from using it if you really like it. They said just try to learn how to use it with the nerf, like try to learn how to reuse it, I guess. More better. I don't know. But they didn't nerf it. They added like the magazine is smaller. You carry less ammo for it as well. And the damage is not as long in range. And it's like a lot of nerfs to it. So kind of sucks. But I switched over to a different gun and I've been using that quite a bit. And they did say they're going to do way more balance patches as the game continues. They're going to continue to see what people use and what they don't use. And they'll try to balance out the game that way. You know what I mean? To make it to where people aren't using the same build over and over. And Yeah, I think I have something in the news for you guys later on about Helldivers 2. But yeah, there's been quite a few things going on with the community there because people will kick you if you don't have the meta build.
Yeah,
Like
Jesus,
Oh wow.
I don't know if you have it in the news or not, but did you hear? Does it have anything to do with what the dev had in a reply? And I think it was on from IGN where they were talking about, well, what's the best meta build? And I guess a dev inserted his own comment. I don't know where he did it at, YouTube or somewhere, maybe the site.
Hmm.
But apparently, I don't have the article in front of me. But apparently, he said, "Have whatever build you fucking want" or something. And I guess that was like not the right response, I guess.
Well,
And
that's
I guess
really
he
what
was
the
reprimanded from that.
But that's really what the developer's been saying from the get go. They've been saying play however you want to play the game. Don't let people dictate how you play the game. Like don't let because you join a lobby and everyone's running this gun and everyone's running these stratagems and these airstrikes and these turrets or whatever. Don't use the same thing if you don't want to. If you're the guy that uses this other gun and likes these other airstrikes better and you know how to use them effectively, then use it. They said don't let other people tell you how to play the game that you want to play because you paid for it too, like you know what I mean? If you
Well,
also
yeah,
bought
Yeah.
the game,
they want people using all the stuff that's in the game too. They don't want people
yeah.
using
So,
one meta and then
so
that's
Jesus,
all they're using.
but would it be a good idea? Again, I've not played the game. So Jesus, you think it would be a good idea to have like not a casual mode, but I guess maybe casual mode and then something called ranked or something else? Would that,
No,
you think that would
because
divide the players on some
yeah,
things
it
where,
would. It would. It's not worth it. They already have it kind of. They have the difficulty things where certain difficulties will be way harder than the other ones, and you will need certain stratagems for those difficulties. For example, playing it right now, I've been playing it on hard because I was on extreme, and extreme is really difficult, man. Like it really is extreme. The game doesn't lie when it tells you like this is extreme. This is not easy. Like you will not just walk to the park on this mission. Like you, even if you have some of the best players with you, you will die sometimes because there's so many bugs at a screen at a time. Like that you cannot handle the bugs. Like there's too many of them. You can't outrun them. You can't outpace them. Your best bet is to just try to survive as long as you can in that section because you're gonna die, and that's your only option is to try to survive as long as you can because there's no other choice. Um, so yeah, it is extreme. I think I did one that was a hell dive, and it was me and three other guys, and we did a hell dive, which is the maximum difficulty, and we got fucking wrecked, dude. It was not even like a chance, man. We didn't even have like it was like we spawned in, we die. We spawned in, we die. We
Wow.
spawned in, we die. Like the first drop we did, I thought, okay, we're gonna drop in this area. It doesn't seem to have a lot of hives around it or whatever. We're gonna be good. Oh man, was I wrong? As soon as we dropped and the pods opened up, man, we had like 50 bugs around us, big ones like coming at us, and it was fucking chaos, dude. All you heard was gunshots going off like 2 seconds into diving, fucking people calling in airstrikes left and right to try to get the bugs off of us. We didn't stand a chance, dude. I even told the guy like we don't stand a chance in this mission. Like we fucked up. We came into the wrong mission, man, because this is fucked. We had no chance, no business being in that difficulty. Now maybe if I'm a higher tiered level or whatever, maybe I'll end up playing that eventually. But right now I'm sticking to hard and extreme because they seem to offer a lot of challenge still, and it's not a walk in the park. And yeah, but yeah, no, I'm playing a lot of Helldivers
What's
too.
the benefits of going higher
is
difficulty?
it
Do you get
more,
better XP rewards or what?
Yeah,
What's
yeah,
it?
yeah. You get better XP. Like so,
Okay.
if you complete a mission, it'll give you like the base XP, the base whatever. If you did like the side objectives, it'll give you the XP for that, and then it'll give you XP for destroying certain nests or whatever. And if you do all those, it'll give you the total, and then from there, it'll give you like a little boost based on what you did. So if you did a hard, it'll give you like a whatever, like a 10% boost to your XP and your credits. If you did an extreme, it will give you a 30% or a 40% boost. If you did it at super difficulty, it'll give you like a 50% boost. Sometimes it'll give you 100% boost if you do like because there's Helldiver and the one beneath that is called Nightmare. and the one beneath that is called something else, like super hard or some shit. But yeah, there's like difficulties that if you reach a certain difficulty, it'll give you like more XP to complete that if you complete that quest or whatever or that mission. So that's the benefits of doing that. So if you're a low level and you get into a match with someone that's doing extreme or hard and you're like level 5 or 4, you're going to level up really, really, really fast because the first 12 levels go pretty fast. And earning a lot of XP like that will get you up there really fast. And then it kind of slows down after that. But you will still be leveling up quite quickly if you're running really high difficulties and having people kind of carry you through the
Well,
game.
that's good to know, Jesus, because if I ever buy this game on PC, right, I can just be my level 2, and I usually play baby mode, but I can just run around and hide behind you and cry like a little kid, right, while you get the XP up, like Borderlands style,
Yeah.
right? That's how you do it.
Yeah. So there's
I'll
that.
be
I
hiding
mean,
over by this rock, Jesus. Kill them all.
yeah. But with that being said, for the people that are low level, it's not that you can't do any damage. Your gun does the same amount of damage my gun does. It's just I may have a different gun than you, a different like type of gun. It'll be the same gun but with like a different thing on it. We're like, because there's the guns that are kind of all similar, kind of, but some of them are a little bit different in terms of damage. So like I have one that's it's like a DMR rifle, but it does like armor penetration, so it's a little bit better against most enemies where it can do a little bit higher damage because it has armor piercing bullets or whatever, where the regular version only has regular bullets or whatever the fuck. So they have little things like that for certain guns. And so yeah, some guns you will notice people use and they do a little bit more damage than your gun, but you will still be able to kill things. Trust me, like you can kill things. And I don't know how the XP is divvied up. I don't think it's divvied up based on what you did in the match. I don't think it's divided up either by like what you called in or what you didn't call in or what you did. I think it's just equal across the board, no matter what.
But at the
Um,
end, does it show like oh, this is how many bugs I killed, this is how many bugs the next person killed? Like, does it show that stat at the end?
yeah, you can totally pull those up at the end of the match. You can hit the button and it'll pull up the stats for everyone, and that'll say your accuracy, how many shots were fired,
Your damage you did,
um,
right?
your damage output, your accuracy, how many shots hit, how many shots fired.
KD?
Uh, doesn't show your KD. It shows how many times you died, how many times you were killed, but it also shows like how many grenades you used and how many friendly fire kills you did. Like if you friendly fired someone, how much damage or friendly fire did you commit? It'll show all that. So yeah. So they are tracking those stats, but I don't know. Like there's a page where you can see those. Maybe there's a live. Maybe in the lifetime career tab you can see all that stuff. But yeah. So yeah, man, it's kind of a really good game. I love that game. That game so much fun, and I can't wait for them to. I think the rumor is now they're going to add another faction to it. I forget what they're called. They're called the Light People or the Illuminate or something like that, where they're like another alien species that have like high tech shit. So they have like robots and mechs, but they're also like humans, but not really. And I guess we'll be able to fight them next eventually when they add them into the game. Um, but yeah, Toe Divers 2 is still going pretty strong. Quite a bit of
Nice.
players still playing it, and I look forward to playing more of it. Besides that, though, I did play a little bit more of that game, News Tower. So I kind of figured out how to get my shit together in that game, and I've kind of built a little business, man. I got a little newspaper thing going now, man. I got like a pretty decent newspaper. It's coming along pretty nice. I got an editor. I got a person that does advertisements. It gets me like little contracts for ads I could put into the newspaper. And yeah, I look forward to playing more of that. See how that goes. I think eventually I will go bankrupt because it seems like money is really hard to come by in that game. Um, yeah, but there's that. I've been playing that. That's pretty much all I've really been playing, man. I haven't really played much else. I dived a little bit into my phone for Vampire Survivors. Forgot I had that game on my phone, and I launched it, and it works really good on a phone.
I believe it's a free to play, right?
Yeah, it
On
is.
phones. Anybody can play it. Yeah.
Yeah, anyone can play it. It's free to play. It does have ads though for like certain things. So like I notice sometimes when I die, it'll be like, "Do you want to continue your run? Watch this ad for a revive." And I did it like twice. I'm like, all right, I'll watch this fucking.
That I would agree with,
$50.
right? With any kind of free to play like that, like you don't have to buy any
Yeah.
freaking gold coins or silver
I think.
shiny gems. Just watch the
Yeah.
ad. I
No.
like that.
I don't think they have any of that. I think they have They do have a DLC store, but that is for like DLC for the game. So like whatever. Remember they released that whatever DLC, was it Castlevania or was it something else? But remember they
On
had that DLC for that game.
on Vampire
They had like
Survivors,
yeah, they had some fucking DLC for it, and there's like
I
4
don't.
DLCs you can buy for the game that are like
I just played the vanilla on
maps.
Xbox and on the iPad.
But there is DLC for the game because I know there was some on Steam as well, and there is DLC you can buy on the phone. Like you can open it up and it'll say DLC store. You click on it and it'll have like 4 DLCs. I don't know how much they are because it just shows the DLC you can buy. Then I'm assuming if you click on it, it might tell you the price. Then I don't know what the price is. It could be $1 maybe, or I don't know more. I don't know. Um, but it is there. But Vampire Survivors works really well on a mobile phone, man. It
Yeah,
works.
Yeah, it seemed like it would be a good mobile game because you don't have to do much attacking. It's just movement.
Yeah, it's just like, yeah, the touchscreen is a little weird, right? Because you're moving with the touchscreen, but like wherever you put your finger on the screen, it becomes a joystick. So if you want to move left, you move it left. You want to move right, you move it right, up and down. It's just like a joystick, but on the screen. So when you put your finger on the screen, it kind of shows like a little joystick icon, like a little see-through joystick icon. And as you move your finger, you see a little joystick move left and right and up and down. And that's really it. And you can put your finger anywhere on the screen. You can put it in the middle of the screen, on the top left, and top right, bottom left. It's not like a set joystick on the screen. You could just put your finger anywhere and move around. And yeah, like you said, it's not a very difficult game. You're not attacking really, right? You're just moving around, and it's auto attacking for you. So it's really kind of an easy, chill game to play. But yeah, I've been playing that a little bit on my phone. I unlocked the dude that throws like the little holy water or whatever the fuck he does. I unlocked him the other day and I was playing with him and I got pretty far with him some levels and I was like, hell yeah, man. I'm like, this guy's badass. I remember why I liked him in the first when I played on PC. I remember why I picked this guy because he's a fucking badass. He heals himself as you play and then you fucking get a lot of coins and then yeah. Yeah, man.
I see 3 different pieces of DLC here on Xbox for Vampire Survivors, but they're
Yeah.
pretty cheap. They're like less than $2 for each one.
Yeah, so I'm assuming on the phone it's the same way, right? Like
Yeah,
yeah. But yeah, I've been playing that, man. That's really all I've been playing. I really look forward to so I bought Rise of the Ronin on PS5, but looking at Dragon's Dogma 2, I'm gonna buy that too, I think. It looks really
that's
Yeah,
one of
it
my
looks
most
really- looks really
anticipated
good.
games.
The combat looks really good to me.
it
Yeah.
looks like a lot of fun, like a cool RPG.
I probably
to
put
play.
60 hours into the first one back on the Xbox 360.
I think the first one right now is on sale on Steam, like really, really cheap, like $5 or $10. I thought about picking it up.
Yeah.
I don't know how much different it is.
When people ask me like, is it worth playing the first one? I'm like, well, I would say like with this second one just right around the corner, you might as well just wait like another 2 weeks or whatever. Like it's coming out on the 22nd. So it's just right around the corner. I would wait. Not just it. I mean, it's a little dated, but still, I haven't fired it up in a long time. Like I bought it on Steam like a year ago or 2 years ago. But
I'm not going to. I'm gonna play the second one without knowing anything. Just start fresh. And then but at the same time I'll be playing Rise of the Ronin. So it's kinda like a tough
Yeah.
situation there.
You
I don't
think
know
you,
what to
you think you're gonna
play
buy this
first.
on PC or do you think you're gonna buy it on console? Because for me personally, like all the Capcom stuff was always I've always noticed their stuff was limited to 60 frames. And so that's always kind of a no-go for me when it comes to PC. It's like why I play on PC. I play it on higher frame rate.
Better
So
graphics, I guess.
yeah, I mean that's the only thing you're gonna get is the better graphics, more settings, but I mean it's gonna run constantly at 60, I guess. But I
Yeah.
wish Capcom games would unlock their frame rate. It's kind of a
I might just wait to buy it. I might not buy it day one because maybe they will have it unlocked. I'll wait. I'll play Rise of the Ronin day one, and then I'll play the other one. Because Rise of the Ronin looks really good too. I think people are gonna.
it does.
I think Rise of the Ronin is gonna be a great game. I think it is. I think it's not gonna do good though because it's releasing the same day as Dragon's Dogma 2.
Yeah.
I think that game is gonna overshadow it. You know what I mean? So it's gonna be like yeah, this is a great game. Yeah, it's really fun and so it's like Ghost of Tsushima 2 or whatever. It's really good. But I think it's not gonna do as good for that fact. I think that eventually like when we hear the numbers and Sony comes out and talks about the sales, they're gonna be like, "Oh, we were disappointed with how bad Rise of the Ronin fucking sold or whatever," and it'll be like a Days Gone situation where it's a good game, it's fun, and people liked it, and people think it's really good and probably deserve a sequel, but it won't probably get a sequel because Sony tends to not do sequels for games that don't meet their expectations. They tend to
Yeah.
shut the studios down.
It has a little bit of
Yeah.
an
Yeah.
Assassin's Creed look to it too, like with the eagle.
Yeah, it looks really good, man.
But it looks
You
like it's
you pick your faction and you fight for them, and then you're trying to take over the world or whatever as that faction, and it looks really good. So I look forward to playing Rise of the Ronin. And like I said, I like Ghost of Tsushima, and it looks a lot like Ghost of Tsushima
Yeah, it does.
in terms of the whole samurai setting or whatever.
I believe Ghost of Tsushima is coming out on PC here soon.
It is. It's coming out on PC pretty soon, so that's good because that game will look really good on the PC, and I might actually buy it on the PC again because it's so good. That game is really good, man, and I think it would be a great looking game on this ultra wide.
yeah. That campaign was really good, and the ending was so good.
Man,
Might be one.
multiplayer, right? Was it
I
how many
would really like
people?
that
Was it
ending.
just co-op 2 people, or what, could you do 3
On what?
on Ghost of Tsushima, the multiplayer
And,
I'm not
co-op?
sure. I never tried it.
oh, there was multiplayer. They added it, huh?
Yeah, I think you were playing something else after when that came out, but that was
Oh yeah, I did. I was playing
was it
totally something else.
yeah, that was
But it
Nightcrawler
was
who was
like
playing a lot of it.
but that was like it wasn't really. It was a co-op mode, but it was more like a horde mode.
Yeah,
Like
yeah. Yeah, more of a horde wave mode, right?
that's what it was. Yeah, it wasn't a campaign co-op. It was more like a survive the waves or whatever, and then level up your character as you survive the different waves or whatever the fuck. That's what that was. It was like a horde mode, like a Gears of War horde.
Yeah.
And to me, honestly, I'm over horde modes. And I guess you could argue that Helldivers 2 is kind of like a horde mode, but you kind of have objectives most of the time, right? Like you have a clear objective of what you're supposed to do. There's missions where you're just supposed to destroy the nest and you're supposed to run around and destroy all the 10 nests or whatever, 10 bug holes or whatever the fuck, or 10 factories of the robots, or there'll be one where you have to set up the refueling station and get it back up and running to refuel the ships or whatever as they come in and refuel, and you got to defend the area while these ships refuel, or you got to evacuate the people or survey the ground or whatever with the survey beacon or whatever, and there's different things like that in the game. So yeah, it's kind of like a horde mode, but it does have objectives to it. The problem with that I am finding though with Helldivers 2 is the objectives are getting boring, if you know what I mean. They're once you do them all, you know what it is. There's no different to there's no what is it there's nothing new there. Once you've done it all, you've done it all, and
Yeah.
that's kind of the downside to the game. Where I feel like they maybe figure out how to add more different objectives to the maps. I don't know how they're gonna do it because that'd probably take quite a bit of work. But maybe add, I don't know, just different types of things. I don't know, escort people. I don't know, because the escort people is kind of like not really escorting people. You kind of go to a base, you turn everything on, you turn on the fucking things or whatever, you open the doors, and then you press a button, and the people run out of the door 4 at a time, and they run to this other door and run into the door. And if you get 50 people through that door before the match is over, then you win. Or before you die, then you win. But that's the whole thing. And if people die as they're getting to the little door, like if they get killed by a bug or they get killed by you, then you lose credits for that person. I think it's 25 to 50 credits per person that dies. So yeah, you're escorting them to the door, but really you're not. You're just pressing the button.
Really, the mode should be called door to door.
Yeah, because you're you press the button and then they open, the doors open, and then they run over there, and you're not really escorting them. They're just running by themselves to that shit as fast as they can, and then
protect them. Got it.
You're just killing bugs and shit and distracting the bugs while they run, and it's okay. It's not the funnest mode. I mean, like I said, there's some missions that I don't like doing just because I already know what the objectives are, and I know that they're too hard sometimes. There's missions that I'll try to do on extreme or whatever, higher difficulties, and I'm like, I don't want to do this mission because this one right here, this campaign, has a mission where I have to fucking go find a hard drive. You find the hard drive. You pick up the hard drive. You take the hard drive to another location on the map, and then you have to put the hard drive in the machine and download the files. Now you're defending the machine and the thing while it's downloading the files. Now you pick up the hard drive again, and meanwhile, you can't use your gun when you're carrying the hard drive. You can use your sidearm, or if you have like a one-handed gun, like a submachine gun, you can use like your main weapon. But I have like a rifle, so I can only use my sidearm. So now you pick up the hard drive, and now you have to run clear across the map, the entire fucking map, to get to the other objective to upload the data to the fucking space station or wherever the hell you're uploading the data to. So you have to upload the data to Super Earth or whatever. So now you have to run across the map. You hope you don't get killed. You hope you don't drop the hard drive. You hope that if you do drop the hard drive, that someone picks it up and keeps running with it, so you don't have to go all the way back there to pick it up. And yeah, because nothing sucks more than getting to the other objective at the end, and it's like, all right, guys, who has the hard drive?
Yeah.
And everyone's like,
I dropped it back, I don't know, 3 blocks back.
I thought you had the hard drive. Well, fuck you
man.
mean, dude?
It fell out of my back pocket.
I thought he had the hard drive. Like no one has the fucking hard drive, and then it sucks, right? Because you guys have to run all the way back to wherever the fucking where usually there's a lot of bugs where you died. So you have to run all the way back there, fight all the bugs to try to get the fucking hard drive to get the fucking shit back. It sucks. So yeah, there's some crazy shit that happens like that sometimes in that game. But yeah, I want them to add new objectives to it. But yeah, that's really all I've been playing, man. I haven't really played Call of Duty since Helldivers came out. It's all been Helldivers.
While you were
Wow, that's
talking
cool.
there,
What
Jesus,
level?
I did look up, and Dragon's Dogma will be 60 frames on PC. And they said it's going to be 30 frames on console, uncapped. They said it's going to fluctuate between 20 and 40 in console. And
Really?
it's
That's
going to be
it?
60 on PC, yeah.
20 and 40, that's it. That's all I get on Xbox. Damn.
Even on the Super PS5 machine.
Yeah, that's what they're saying.
Oh man,
You don't want to embarrass the old Xbox there, right? Make it 60.
what 30 FPS?
60. Yeah, on console.
That's unacceptable, man. 30.
We need
I'd
new
rather have-
consoles. That's it. Where's
I'd
the
rather-
Series X Pro and the PS5 Pro, damn it. I want 60 minimum on every game.
I'd rather have so much less graphics and have it be at 60
Right?
than whatever the fuck they're doing making it 30.
They said it's going to be like unlocked at 30. So it'll fluctuate between 20 and 40, really. So it's going to be all over the place as well. So it's going to move up and
It
down.
might,
Is
it
that
might be a
good, Mayo, or not? Like, would I rather have a locked 30 or an uncapped 30? Like, I don't know what my eye is going to even see that. I think it's at 38 right now. I have no idea.
You might feel it fluctuate, though. Like if it drops down to 20 at times, you might feel that quite a bit. You know, sometimes you're getting 40
Yeah, I'm gonna go
and it
to.
drops to 20.
I'm
If
gonna
I'm
have to go
standing
on
still. Look,
PC.
guys, I'm getting 39 FPS. Come on.
I'm gonna have to do PC on that one, man.
Yeah, I don't know. Now I'm kind of wavering. You know, like, oh, do I want to play it at 30? I kind of want to play it in the living room on the PlayStation because it's kind of, long RPGs are just kind of fun to kick back and just run around. But maybe I will play it on PC. I'm not sure yet.
I'm fine with those, right? Because a lot of times it's just magic, bow and arrow, sword and board. Those are good with 30. Same with any Assassin's Creed game. They're fine. Just 30. Keep it at 30. I'm happy. As long as it's got good graphics and gameplay
Well,
fun.
That's it, man. That's what I played. So what have you been playing, Gunny?
I've been playing a little bit of everything. I've just been trying to stay home as much as possible so I can play games, which has been fun. But I do have a rant to go on. I guess it just talks about the first game that I tried to play, but could not, because I did go on the Xbox Series X today, and I was, looking at different things throughout the store, and I was like, oh yeah, Final Fantasy 15. There's a demo on the Series X, and so the first thing I did was like it logs you in, and it's like, okay, yeah, what's your Square Enix ID and password? I'm like, oh, okay, let me go get that, because I've had one for quite a while, and it's like, okay, yeah, here's what it is. Nothing, no, that's the wrong ID or password. I put it in 3 different times. Fuck. So then I researched it, and it's talking about like, well, it's a different thing on Square Enix. So you'll basically have to create like a new password and ID or some shit like that. And I was like, are you serious? Like, okay, fine. So then I just went in and created a new one. I just used my other email. Same password. I'm just going to use a different email that I have to create that, and agree to everything, all the policies and all that crap, and it's like, fine. So then I go to hit start game, and it's like, oh yeah, server failure, blah blah, just keeps kicking me back to the screen. Like, you know what? Forget this. After like 30 minutes, after trying to log in, I'm like, forget it. I don't have time for this shit. It's like I'll
I
try it
don't
again
really.
later this week.
Yeah, I don't know what my EA stuff would be. Like, I don't
I
remember
was
either.
EA is the
well,
worst, man. Trust me, dude. Like I
yeah.
can't play EA games on my PS5 because of that reason. Because I go
See,
to launch an EA game on my PS5, it tells me you need to re-log into EA because you haven't logged in a long time. And it's like it shows me my email, and I'm like, wait a minute, I don't use that email for my EA account anymore. I have my other email attached to it. So then it says, oh, we'll send you a code to your email to put in. And then it says,
Your old email
oh,
or
yeah, it says we send you the code. What's the code? It's like I don't have that code. Okay, well, do you have access to the email? No. Well, then go to the EA support website where you obviously cannot find no one to chat with, dude. I was there for hours. Literally, I tried for like 15 hours probably to find someone to chat with on the EA site. And at the time, this was when I wasn't living here and I was here and I was able to do it on my phone. I don't even know how, but I got through to some chat person. And they're like, "Oh no, it's cool, man. Like I got you. You wanna unlink your EA from PlayStation? Okay, that's cool. I need the following information from you. What's your PlayStation account? What's your EA username? What's your Xbox account? What's your PC account name? Okay." And then it said, "Okay, you have all that. Okay, cool. You have all that. This is you. Okay. When's your date of birth? What's your email? What's the other email you use? What's your address? What's your IP address, by the way? What's your IP address right now? What's your IP address that you play on the most? Where's your PS5 located?" I was like, Jesus fucking dude, I was so mad. I was fucking
wow.
pissed. I was like, I don't know my IP address for my house because I'm not at home. And I said, well, it's easy to find. Use this link to find your IP address. Well, guess what? I click on the link on my phone, it opens up a new web page, right? For the fucking IP address location thing. Get my IP address. I reverse try to go back to the previous page that I was on to like chat with the guy. The chat's gone because it
oh
closed the
shit,
chat. It closed the chat out when I opened the fucking link.
that was
Oh
smart
man.
move. Smart move, man. That was good.
So I'm thinking this fucking guy probably figured this motherfucker's chatting with me on his phone. I'm gonna just
Yep.
send him this link and it'll close out the chat and I don't have to deal with it.
Bye, Jesus.
Yeah, so then after that, I could never get. And then I sent them like I don't know, like 6 support tickets about unlinking my PlayStation account from my old email, and I could never get it figured out. Never. They emailed me and they said, "Oh, it's easy to do. Just go to this website and fucking put in your information, and you could unlink anything." And I'm like, "Yes, but you don't guys don't get it." I'm like, "My old email address is not linked to this anymore. It's not linked at all." No, I was thinking maybe the workaround, now that I'm thinking about all this, right now, I'm thinking maybe I should just change my email address back to my old email address because I still have it and try to log in
Yeah.
that way. You know what I
I
mean? Like,
thought yeah, but I thought you said before you weren't sure if you had access to it, but I guess
I have
I remember
access
when you
to
were
my,
talking about it.
yeah, I have access to that email address. I still use it every once in a while. So maybe I should just relink that email address to that account, set it as my primary email address, and then um unlink that way. I don't fucking know.
Yeah, I remember I had
It's
that problem
America, man. Yeah,
with
it's the
Sony getting
worst.
my I think when I got my PS4 or was it the PS4 headset? I don't remember what it was, but something about it was under my Comcast email or whatever which I didn't have access to or I didn't know the password for it, right? Cuz I haven't used it in a long time where I always use like Gmail now and stuff like that. It's like so then I had to create another email for a new profile. I was like, whatever. But no, Jesus, I'll go back to what I was saying about my rant about like, if you remember, like if we go back like what, 14, 16 years ago, right? Remember we were all on the Xbox 360 and, there were times where we needed like an EA profile, right? Like a profile password. Ubisoft, you needed a profile password. But it wasn't necessarily that either me or you or Brink or any of us had a PC, right? So we never used like the launchers, right?
Yeah.
So we didn't have consoles at the time. So then, but then you figure as time went on, we were, getting laptops and PCs, right? With those. So then I found myself over time like, oh, I'll just create a new thing or whatever, not realizing that I had it. So then that was my thing today where I'm like, I'm not going to create another fucking username and password. I want to keep it the same, Like I was fighting it, but just wouldn't even allow me to. So it's like, yeah, you can't use that. Like this is a beta and you got to use something else. And it's not the same as a regular Square Enix account. I'm like, whatever, But I'll store it in the thing. So hopefully, I can link the two or something because even when I went to my Square Enix account on the website, like, oh, you have your Xbox and Steam linked, right? It's been linked for a while. I'm like, yeah, okay, cool. So that just shows people, I guess, that I guess when you're playing a game or whatever on any platform, they can see what you're playing, something like that. But neither here nor there. I was like, I just give up. Fine, I'll just come back to it. So probably it's a beta. It probably just came out or something. So game I did not play, guys. But yeah, eventually I will get to it. But over on the Steam Deck, a lot of Deep Rock Galactic Survivor, Mayo. Me and Dave were playing. I think we were playing. What was it? I don't know. It wasn't Friday. It could have been Thursday or whatever. Thursday evening.
Mm-hmm.
He was switching back between. Like he's been really getting back into Deep Rock Galactic. The actual
original,
OG
right.
game. So, and that's a game I've always talked about. Like, oh man, I always going to go back to it. But I never do. I always end up playing something else. But yeah, Survivor is so much fun, man. Getting more things unlocked. The one thing I can't do, Mail, even with my Gunner level 12, I think I'm having a heck of a time even on the second difficulty. Not even in the magma, just on the regular first map that you get.
Right.
Just trying to get through all 5 levels. I think it was Wednesday or Thursday. I get in there, Mayo. Like, oh man, my first shot, I'm actually going to get this on tier 2, whatever they call it in the game. Where I'm like, yeah, I got this. The drop ships right there. I wasn't paying attention to my health. I died right on the fucking platform, Mayo. Right on the
man.
platform. I was like, are you kidding me? Yeah. I had to resist to like give force to the Steam Deck because they're kind of light. I could probably break this thing with my hands if I wanted to. Not that it's that fragile, but yeah, I mean, it's not exactly, sturdy. So I was like, so that I really just wanted to rage quit at that point, like not play the game anymore. But no, I went back into it. And yeah, I still don't think I've completed it because now I think I talked about it a couple of weeks ago where I'm like, I just like taking all my 4 different characters, my engineer, scout, and just trying to get those guys all leveled up, like not equal, but it's like, oh gosh, he's only level 3. I need to get him, more leveled. So I've just been going back to the first difficulty, sometimes just doing the magma, which I haven't completed yet. So
Yeah,
by the way,
I kind of did that a little bit. So I think I finished the second level difficulty on all the maps, and I'm on the third. It's been a minute since I played it now, but that's what I was doing. I would go back to the first level, play it on an easy difficulty, and I would unlock the weapons and make sure I get like all the overclocks for those weapons unlocked.
yeah,
And then I wouldn't even care if I'd win the round or not. I just wanted to go in there and level that new weapon up, to like level 12 or something like that, and it unlocks the overclocks for it. So then I would jump in, play it all the way until like level 12, get that that overclock unlocked for that new weapon. Then you'll be stronger next time around with that weapon
Yeah.
if you happen to come across it. You'll get the overclock option. So that's what I was doing. So I would have some runs where I didn't even really care whether I made it through or not.
Right. Because there were a few times where, yeah, I'll get to stage 5, but I will unlock something new, right? Whether it is get that weapon, overclocked or not. So I'm getting there. Like it's just, it's that slow burn. That's what these are. These auto shooters, right? You're getting things
definitely.
unlocked and progressing. So man, it's been taking away time from my Brotato game, So
Yeah, I think it's
my
way
other
better
auto
than
shooter.
Brotato, Brotato's good, but I think this is better.
Oh yeah, well, yeah, a lot better than that. So, but yeah, that's my other Steam Deck game. So yeah, over to Xbox. I think it was last week. I picked up a game called Welcome to Paradise. Pareadize.
I
So,
think I've seen this on Steam, maybe.
do you remember a game called How to Survive 2? You remember
No.
that game? Yeah, How to Survive 2. And there was another one. It might have been the first How to Survive game. I want to say there was 2 of them. I don't know the developer, if it was Namco from this game or not, but yeah, they were like your really low tier budget kind of arcade games, more like. But yeah, just like a But in this one, this is more zombie survival open world. So it's exploration. You'll go and explore an area. I only played. I want to say I played a few, maybe 3 hours of the game, and I just got bored with it. So kind of quickly, I was like, all right, I don't know what the objective is. Like, you can go in, you kind of set down like this little house. You'll make a weapons building area, and then like a wood burning furnace or some shit, right? So then, well, once you do that, the thing is that it'll pop out like 3 or 4 zombies, and then they're kind of mind controlled, right? You pick up these things that where you can kind of mind control one at first, and then they're just more of a companion. That helps you fight. I think you'll put like a weapon in their inventory, and then they'll use that said weapon. And I think as time goes on, you can unlock 2 or 3 of them. So, but the point I'm at right now, I just have the one, and they actually fight pretty good. I will say that. So, and yeah, I haven't really died like too much, right off the beginning, just playing on normal. But I don't know. I just wasn't sure. Like, the combat seems good, right? But I don't know. There's just something about it where I was like, okay, I'm just gonna get bored with this game. But yeah, so I went to return the game, Mayo, without even checking the amount of time that I had put into it. And I'm like, this is the second one this year. I know I did one back in January. I think that was the Armor Core game that I thought was too difficult for me. If you remember that, was it called Rubicon or something like that? Where I couldn't even get past like the first boss after 8 minutes in the game. But yeah, so then they denied my claim. I don't know why. So
Really?
Maybe
it was on Steam, right?
No, this was on Xbox.
Oh, an Xbox. That's why.
Yeah, but no, I mean, it said something about like, oh, you're trying to return a game that you bought digitally or whatever. But I'm like, yeah, I did the same thing with Armor Core. You let me return it, so I don't know.
I don't know the rules. I know Steam's rules, and that's that's like 2 hours of playing time or like 2 weeks of ownership or something like that. But
yeah, I probably had this
Xbox
maybe
is.
I don't know. I want to say 3 or 4 days, but maybe it did. It kind of calculates weird, right? You ever play a game for 2 hours and then you look at your playtime, 4 hours and 13 minutes. You're like, okay, where'd that come from?
Oh no, I haven't noticed that.
Right? I see that on the Xbox all the time, and I'm like, I don't think I walked away or or anything like that, or let it run, or sometimes it runs in the background. I think that's what it is with a lot of games, right? And I could be wrong. Anybody in the listen to this can actually correct me on that. But anytime you get like a free trial, right, whether it's an EA game or not, you'll be like, and it'll say the 10 hours, right, Mayo? That's what you get on PC, remember, with EA Access or any of those games or any of those services. Where I've noticed that, where it's like, yeah, if you go to the homepage on the Xbox or whatever, a lot of times, right there, it's kind of like a quick resume. So the time will keep counting down. So you got to go in and kill the program, I think, to end your time that you actually put into it. So just a pro tip if you actually forget. So, but yeah, it could have been running in the background for a while until I turned the Xbox off or something. So that might have burned me right there with the return. So you know what, man? I'm going to keep it installed. I'm going to actually go back in, and now that I can't return it, I'll actually probably go back and play more of it. So I don't know. Maybe something will kick in and say, oh shit, this is the best thing ever. So as far as combat and better weapons and stuff like that. So I think the one frustrating thing for me, and this was a my fault thing, Mayo, was where it kind of teaches the tutorial. Okay, set the base down, set down the kind of the weapons crafting area, and you'll set those 2 things down. But it doesn't say like, oh, maybe it does. It'll say put it in a wood cutting area. So anywhere kind of wood will generate, like they'll just kind of pop up. It'll say, oh, you picked up 2 wood or whatever. Like, I think it has to be in those areas, but you can build it anywhere. It seems anywhere. I think it's inside the forest or outside of the forest. It kind of just doesn't let you build anywhere. But yeah. But then I was trying to figure out like, okay, how do I get a bow and arrow? Because I actually need it for a quest, and I was kind of not far from my base. Like, you can make it like a fast travel point. I think you can fast travel out of it, but not to it or something like that. It was kind of weird. So, but there were little fast travel points that you could unlock. You'd see them on the map and you can get close to your base. But yeah, kind of weird that you couldn't go back directly to your base, but maybe you could. I think after a mission or some weird shit. So I don't know. Well, I'll figure it out, Mail. I'll go back in and learn the game and not get so frustrated with it. So, But yeah, you know what else came to Game Pass, Mail?
What's that?
Bolt Gun. Remember that game that came out on Steam? That's the Warhammer 40K
Oh yeah.
game. So this reminds me of if you remember you played that game also. Is it called Proteus? That's also on Game Pass. This is from a really small developer, which I recommend. I want to say that's just on PC. I don't know if that's actually on console. The game called Proteus, but it's more that what am I thinking of? Not Diablo Mayo, but the game that you actually liked. I didn't. Damn, it'll come to me now. It's escaping me. But yeah, it's a first person shooter, kind of that 90s style retro shooter game. That damn, still can't think of the name of that fucking game. But I think you really like this. This is more like you'll have a gun. Start off with that. You'll get a shotgun second. Then I think it's if you're playing with a controller like me, the right triggers. If you're close enough to the enemy, it'll take you towards the enemy, and then it just will do like a big slash on the enemy. So it doesn't matter if it's a larger, more stronger enemy or not. So, because I still do that with an enemy that's got more health or higher in difficulty or something, and then I'll still just offload the shotgun on him and eventually, take him out. So, but yeah, it's actually pretty good. I think you'd really like it. Check that one out. And but that's on Steam, PS5, Series X, all that good stuff. So yeah, it's good stuff. And probably a lot of good times in here in City Skylines. I've been playing with my mods, not the mods that I want, like the ones where I want to take the roads and actually be able to manipulate the road, to the way I want to make it look. But yeah, I can't go back and tailor the roads, unfortunately. So eventually that mod will come. So, but yeah, the service that I'm using, I think it's called called Thunder something or other. So Thunderstorm Mod Manager. It's got all the pretty decent mods for like landscaping and some things that do with traffic and shit like that. So, but I'm always doing creative. That's always what I've always done in any kind of cities or Satisfactory, any of those games. I'm not going to use like how much taxes are coming in and how much money I'm making. I can care less about that stuff. Just let me build, man. Let me build my city. Let me place down whatever I want. I don't want to have the money for it. So to me, that I'm just making my own difficulty, right? And that's all you're doing in any kind of these games in Satisfactory or City Skylines, right? So make your own fun. The more stuff you build.
Sandbox mode.
Yeah, sandbox mode. Right, you build 1,000 roads with 1,000 buildings, right? There's going to be more traffic, and then it's my own challenge, right, to figure out to me, right? And you don't even have to do it. You don't even have to do it. But I look at it like, okay, how can do I put it in another highway? Do I build more roads, bigger circles? So there's not like all these traffic jams coming down into one area, or because anything that has to do with like electricity or sewage or whatever. Like, it's not much of a challenge, but I'm like, okay, where do I want to put some of those new services, right? Near the farmland, where it's going to cause groundwater contamination. So I'm just creating my own difficulty, and that's what I enjoy a lot of. So don't throw the difficulty at me, right? Because I'm a baby, Mayo. I need that baby mode.
Right.
So I want to be able to. This is a god game, right? I want to put my hand down there and destroy shit if I need to, especially when people are complaining about high rent. And things are too expensive,
Listen, man, that's when you lower taxes to free. That's what I did. I had taxes at 0%.
I've been putting them down to so it's funny because I'm in the creative sandbox mode, but I still make them pay taxes because I own you, right? That's how I
Wow,
right?
Gunny.
No, you're still getting at least
unlimited money over there. And you're still charging people tax. Don't,
Look, yeah, I am. I still charge them to get on the bus.
Unlimited money, no free transportation. Everyone pays 15% taxes.
You know where I raise taxes?
Don't live in Gunnyville.
In my ghetto, they're only getting an elementary school, by the way. You know why? It's a good tactic. Let me tell you why. Because over there in the ghetto, right, where I did some ghetto projects and mixed housing, and I didn't leave them with a lot of like industry stuff, just enough to where they can get gasoline, beef jerky from the liquor store, beer, liquor, all the good stuff, cigarettes, they don't need malls and movie theaters, but I put a big ass police station and, cause they're the ones that are going to work in my industry, right? They're going to work in where it's all like,
you want them working in factories?
Yes, they all have to go to the factory, but they're not getting. So the only mode of transportation, they're not getting like subways and trains. They have to take the bus, right? Or they have to drive there. If they can afford a car, they're going to have to drive there. So I made the road big enough. You can drive your ass over there. And I mean, there's going to be signs everywhere from, caution, this area contains poison, all that stuff, right? So maybe bring your own lunch and something to drink. I wouldn't drink the water in that industry area if I
I
were
would
them.
not want to live in your city. I'll tell you that. My city's pretty legit, man. I got like freeways built everywhere now, big highways. Everyone's using them. 6-lane highway. Yeah, we're not fucking around in my city, man. My
Yeah.
city's full of. My city's the future.
So, Jesus, I got a question. So, I can't decide. Like, again, this is going to be aesthetics for me. I think I'm using the right word. As far as like, I've only got like the freeway, and it only comes. I don't know. I wouldn't even say halfway into the city, right before it meets a big circle, and
Yeah.
after that. But I do have like an interchange kind of before that, so they can access another area of the city. So it's
Okay.
kind of like a two-part. But it's also like I can't decide. Okay, how do you do it, Jesus? Now, would you take if I want to run another highway, off that main highway, and let's say run it south all the way through the city, which I've done before and it's cool. Do you always want to? I think you say you'd normally do underground, right?
You
Where
can. You can. I mean, it's up to you, really, how you want to build your city, man. I did mine above ground and I did one underground. I did the one above ground that goes around the perimeter, kind of like the big circle of the city. But that's only a one-way highway. So that's to get on that highway to get the fuck out to the other
okay, yeah,
side.
it's more of an expressway, right, to you than anything.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Yeah,
then the one underground kind of like it was just another exit because having everything go to that one roundabout at the entrance of the city was too much traffic in that little section. There was too much congestion there. There was not enough roaders for like too much congestion, not enough like too many people trying to get on that shit at the same time where it wouldn't
yeah,
work out. So I ended up building off ramps to like different offshoots. So my city has like 10 entrances to it from the highway because I built a bunch of off ramps to like little side streets and shit. So like residential people can go down this road. Trucks will tend to go down this road. Other cars will go down to the main circle thing, the roundabout or whatever. And so yeah, you kind of just have to experiment with building different off ramps and seeing if people start using them or not. And
yeah,
how that also, but also remember, building off ramps builds up traffic in that area. So if that area is not prepared
right.
for that heavy traffic coming in all of a sudden, then guess what? You just created another traffic jam, but in a different part of the city now. So it's
Yes,
like,
you're just
where do you
trading it.
prefer?
Yeah,
Yeah, where do you prefer the traffic jam? Do you prefer it over here or do you prefer it over here? If you prefer it over there, then leave it over there. But I guess it's just moving it around. Eventually, you might get it to the point where there's no traffic jams, but that's kind of impossible. There's always traffic jams, no matter what you do. I've built probably like a 50 roundabouts in all of my city. Almost every intersection's a roundabout, so cars never really stop fully,
yeah.
to try to keep traffic flowing. And nothing I've done seems to ever correct traffic. So I'm
You know
always
what
like,
they really need?
fuck
Like,
it.
you know what they really need? Like when you build a roundabout, whether it's like I think they've got like four of those in the game currently, which are like small, medium, big, and large, right? So when you build those, and then it has like the crosswalks. Now you can go in and you click on crossroads or crossings, right? And then you can actually right click on it and it'll get rid of it, right? So it'll restrict pedestrians from getting across the street. So
Yeah.
then you have to build the walkways, I think they're called, right? So, and there's four different styles of the walkways, right? There's like these nice bridges and stuff, but I thought it would be nice if they actually made one with an actual circle to where they can either go above ground or below ground, right? Because when you try to build those, are kind of tough. Would you agree? Where it's like, oh, it has to be this
Yeah.
long, and you can't. Yeah, it's just. I
Yeah,
have
it
the.
makes a mess. There's a lot of destruction going on in my city. I always destroy things and build, rebuild, and destroy and rebuild. I rezone a lot of areas. Areas that used to be industrial become houses eventually, and I move all the industrial. So right now, what I did is I moved all my industrial to the bottom edge of the city, so where the wind blows away from my city, so the
Yeah,
pollution doesn't get into my city, and
first thing I do.
where the industry used to be at, I built all the houses. So yeah, for a while there, all the people were getting sick from the pollution that used to be there or whatever, but I didn't give a fuck. I just built like a clinic around there, a
Yeah.
clinic and a hospital, and then that's really it. But yeah,
Yeah, good times. But the last game I've been playing, I think, did I talk about Tales of Arise? So this is on Game Pass. This is a Japanese fighting game. So I don't know much about it. I mean, I've seen some of those games, but yeah. So far so good, Mayo. It's just starting off with a sword. It's got that cartoon look to it. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, it's I want to say that cell shaded cartoon look to it. But so far, it seems easy enough to where the controls are easy as far as combat goes, and the story is actually pretty decent. So you're just miner who's like you're all slaves in this mine or whatever, working for these fucking people. I don't even know what they call them, but they're all these big like metal suits and shit, you know. And I guess they've been ruling the lands for a very long time. Um, but yeah, I think you're called Metalhead, or I don't know. You've just got this big ass metal mask on your face, and it's funny because I'm just like, how the fuck did he see? Or like he's just down here and just working the mines. But the premise of the story is actually, I'm actually intrigued a little bit by it because it's more like, when you meet up with these people and you escape, and then they're talking about like, oh, they're just like they're not really there for like you mining because they can just use current technology to big machines to mine things. But why are they using humans to do it? Because I guess they give off like this energy, right? And they're collecting all this energy, right? Like something for has to do with magic, I guess. So I'm like, interesting. I didn't see it going there, so that's kind of cool. But I haven't experienced any real magic. The only person I've run into is anytime you touch her, she'll actually just electrocute you or anybody else. So, but she's got a gun and you got the sword. So, yeah, not a bad game so far. I really recommend it for anybody that's on Game Pass. Called Tales of Arise. But that's all for me. What have you been playing, Mail?
Oh man, I haven't really played a whole lot. The thing I've really been playing here lately was the Last of Us 2 on the PS5. Knowing the Rise of Ronin's coming out and Dragon Dogma 2 is coming out, I'm like I kind of wanted to get that finished up. So especially the last couple of days, I've been playing through it a lot here. This last couple of days off of work, and I'm getting there, Jesus. I'm almost done with that story. Like I'm still playing through as Abby, but I have a theory the game is going to kind of come to the scene where when you left playing as Ellie, and when Ellie and Abby come together, because then it flashes back to Abby. I'm gonna come up to that point again, and there's gonna be a little bit of campaign left after that. But I don't know if you remember the story that well or not, Jesus. But I am to this. There's an island, and you go to this island where the scars are at, and the wolves come in, and there's like a big war going on there, where the wolves invade the scars, and you're trying to escape it basically. I went and
yeah.
the kid Liv, I think you're trying to find him and his mother, then you find the mother dead, and we found Liv and we've taken off. We're trying to get across that island area to a safe area. So I feel like I'm getting close because it's like day 3 of it. So I think the PS5 says I'm at like 76 or 77%. So I know I'm getting pretty close, to the last little bit. So hopefully here the next, by next week, I'll have this game finished up and I'll be able to jump into either Rise of the Ronin or Dragon's Dogma. I haven't decided which one yet, but I've been liking it. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. That's
The
kind
game
of a
looks
tough
really
choice
great.
between those two games, right? Because they're both look cool and they're both RPGs. I
Yeah.
guess it's more of, do you want more of an action oriented RPG? I guess I would go to Rise of the Ronin. If you want more of a story kind of action based RPG, you go to Dragon's Dogma, right? But I don't know, man. I want both, but I don't have enough time for both. So I need one.
Right. Exactly. So we'll see. I'm
I
not sure
guess
which one we pick up.
Well, you
for
guys
people
get
that
Rise of Ronin. I'll get
don't
Dragon's Dogma too.
for people that don't have a PS5, it's an easy choice.
All
Yeah,
right.
yeah. I can't.
For the
I'm
for the
getting Rise of
PS5
Ronin,
owners.
guys. Is it on PS4 Pro?
I don't
Yeah,
know.
for the PS5 owners is a tough choice. So I guess if you just have a PC and an Xbox, it's easy. You just get Dragon's Dogma, right? But yeah.
But yeah, I mean, The Last of Us 2, like I said, I've been enjoying this, right? That one boss fight where they're like all stuck together was kind of crazy. Do you remember that? There's a fight and you're like, and he's like giant and he chases you. You're like in in the hospital on the bottom floor of the hospital looking for the medical supplies.
Oh yeah, I remember that guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and he like you shoot him, and after a while you like do a bunch of damage. I was hitting him with the proximity mines, like the mines you
Yeah.
throw, and I was like shotgunning him, and he doesn't go down, he doesn't go down. And I was
Wasn't he like a
flamethrowing him.
giant wasn't he like a giant clicker or something?
It was like a whole bunch of them put together because then like one of
Yeah.
them comes off of him,
Yeah,
like
I
then you got
remember
to fight
that.
both of them, and so it was a little bit of a pain, but I got through
I
it in
do
like
remember
one or
that
two
now.
I
tries.
Yeah.
wonder. I wonder how they'll do that on this show for the second season.
Yeah, that'd be interesting to see if they have that
Because
in there.
they did pretty good on the. I feel like they did pretty good on the zombies on season one. You know, like the clickers looked like clickers. They did pretty good job on how the characters looked and the
Yeah,
zombies the way they looked.
they might just leave that one out because that's the only one like it, right? You know, you had
You
the
know, it's gonna be
clickers, you had
tough.
the stealth ones.
It's gonna be tough seeing Joel die in that season two opener when it happens in that first episode. We're gonna be like, God damn, what the fuck?
Yeah,
Because we're
for
all
those
gonna
that
know
don't know, for those
we
that don't know, I
know it's
guess.
gonna
Right.
be
For those
coming,
that don't
right?
play games, right? Or, play
Yeah,
that.
for those that haven't played a
Yeah.
game that came out 5 years ago.
Well, they're watching a
Uh,
TV series, haven't played the game. They're gonna come back
Yeah.
and be like, "What? You spoiled it, Jesus." No,
nah, it's I don't give a fuck. But yeah, it's gonna
but
be crazy, right? Because we're gonna get like this whole wholesome thing about him and Ellie living in Wyoming in the snow and playing the guitar and being all
yeah,
happy and Ellie having a little girlfriend or whatever. Everything's cool. And then shit's gonna hit the fan.
but my curiosity about that series is I think a lot of people watch it for Pedro Pascal.
Yeah.
So if they lose that character, how
Yeah.
much are they
Yeah.
gonna be into the series anymore? Are they just gonna be like, "Oh, I'm done with this show," you know? Like,
How did the season one end? Did it end with the hospital scene?
yeah,
No,
it ended.
no.
It ended. They did the hospital thing, and then it shows them at the end. They're outside, and she asks him, just like in the game,
Oh, what
if
happened?
They're at the
Was
what
Firefly camp.
happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he was like, "Oh, you know," and he kind of lied about it, and you're like,
It's like, oh no, it
It
didn't
was after the
work or
hospital.
something,
Yeah.
right?
"Yeah."
But they
So
did do the
that's how it
hospital
ended.
scene, right?
Yeah.
Where
They went
he
through
goes
it pretty quick.
where he
They didn't
goes in there and
show.
shoots everyone or whatever, shoots the doctors and shit.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
like only in one episode. I think they just did it the one episode, but the game was kind of
Yeah.
quick
They went through
too.
it super
Like,
fast. They just laid waste to Joel laid waste to
I
everybody.
felt
And
like
then,
in the game though, it's the same way. Like you were
Yeah,
in the first one, it was like you go through areas like the one at the museum. It felt like you was in that for a while, and then where and that's the scene where what's her name dies, but I can't remember her
yeah,
name anymore. Joel's
friends or
girlfriend.
girlfriend,
whatever.
female
Oh,
friend.
yeah.
Yeah,
But it seemed like you were in there for
Or
a
his.
while. Then they kind of ran through that whole once you get to the camp thing and you're fighting.
Yeah.
It's just that one big scene where you're in there shooting all those, like human people. You're like, oh, it's actually killing humans for once. This is kind of nice, like not
yeah.
having to fight clickers and infected all the time. Like I actually have people shoot at you, not
I
rushing at
wonder.
you. And
So yeah, so I probably think that first episode, if it doesn't end with that happening, like it's gonna have to be episode two, right? Like, like I mean, how many
right,
episodes can they make? Unless the season two is more episodes, like they increase the amount of episodes.
unless they
Right.
break
Like
the
the
game up
whole.
into two seasons, because they
They
could
just.
break up
Right.
the second game into two seasons.
Yeah, and they said, "Oh no, we're gonna break the second game into two seasons," and so now we have more time to develop the story or whatever. So
Thinking about it now, actually, what the perfect opportunity might be would be to do the first season, like second season of part of Ellie, and the third season be Abby's perspective. Like how the
yeah,
game it flips, because that's like a 50% point in the game when you become Abby. So maybe they could do the whole second season as Ellie, that whole getting to
But
that
yes.
point, and then the third season could be all about Abby.
I think they did say that season three might be coming. So I think you're right. I think they're gonna do it to where season two it's gonna be about Ellie going to find Abby, and then it'll end with her finding Abby or whatever, and then it'll flip,
There'll
and
be like a
it'll
cliffhanger season
Yeah.
ending.
yeah,
Yeah.
and then
Or, I mean,
season three will start with Abby's story or whatever.
yeah. Or they can throw us all off, right? And just show at the Firefly camp, they can just do like a whole first episode without Joel or Ellie. But I don't know. They don't
Yeah,
normally do that with first episodes, right? In season two. Yeah.
who knows, man? We'll see.
It started to get confusing after a little while because you're dealing with the scars, you're dealing with the wolves, and you have the
Yeah,
fireflies. You're like you're getting all these
Yeah.
little groups, and you're just like
who the
fighting
fuck
different
are these
groups. And you're
people?
going through. Yeah, I'm
I
like, okay, which
I
ones am I
completely,
fighting now?
I completely forgot about the Scar people.
Yeah, and they had like bow and arrows, and they were the ones that would whistle. I think all the time.
They're the ones that are like that have like the tattoos all over them or some shit.
Yeah, they have like
Cuts
a
all
scar
over
on
them.
their face. They call it because they had a scar on their face. It was like
They're
Yeah.
fast.
self
Those guys.
inflicted.
Yeah, I remember them. They're like the ones hiding in like the trees and shit, right? And like the
Yeah,
rooftops
they're
or
like
weird
living
shit.
off the land kind of people, like bow and arrow. And,
What are they,
So-
natives? What's going on here?
they tapped into their
Indigenous
roots.
people, excuse me.
But Yeah, man. I look forward to that new season. I kind of want to get HBO again because I think the what's that fucking HBO show? House of the Dragon. I think that comes out soon. Season 2
Yeah.
comes out in June, so I'm excited for that because I really liked season 1 of House of the Dragon. You ever watch those Game of Thrones shows, Mayo?
No.
I think if you watch them, you'd like it. I think that they could make a fucking badass RPG game out of Game of Thrones.
I never thought of it. Did we ever talk about that? I never even considered it that would be
They
a
have
good video game.
They have made a game in the past of Game of Thrones. It was on the 360, I think, or maybe Xbox One.
Oh, it was
But it
360.
wasn't.
Now that I think about it,
But
I
it
never played it, but
but it wasn't that good. It wasn't that good.
I mean, there were
I think.
Harry Potter games before, right? That we never
Yeah,
played.
right. Yeah, there was Harry Potter games in the past that weren't the greatest, right? But
Yeah,
this
they
one
were
looks
spitting
really good.
games
I
out left
think,
and right
but like
back
I
then.
said, they could totally make a badass one. Like if I don't know if the studio who made Elden Ring decided to make a Game of Thrones game without it being like super difficult, like Elden Ring, they could totally make a badass RPG out of that, dude. Like,
Yeah.
oh, you select the house, and then like whatever house you selected, then that house. Say you're the heir of the throne of that house, and then the king or your lord dies or whatever, right? Or whatever house you're a part of, and now like wars breaking out in the kingdom, and you're trying to take over the land, the whole kingdom, or whatever, and then you try to make allies, and you have a badass RPG, dude. And then they let you pick
Yeah.
like any house because they have like Game of Thrones has like what like 7 houses or something like that, right? In the main land of Westeros or whatever, they have like 7 different families, right? The Lannisters, the Starks, the Freys, the fucking other like 4 other motherfuckers, right? The Greyjoys, all the motherfuckers. They got like 7 of them, and you could pick one and say you could like make alliances with other houses and go to war
Oh
with other
yeah.
people, and like it could be a really cool strategy RPG or like just a cool RPG in general, you know.
Yeah. 100%.
So it would be like really. I
Defend the
think it would be.
wall. Go fight giants. That'd be cool.
Yeah. See, and then as you're trying to take over the kingdom, you find out about the White Walkers coming, and then you're like,
Yeah, that'd be fun to fight
oh
them.
fuck! You're like, oh fuck! I've been trying to fight these fuckers over here. Now we got these fuckers coming in from over here. What do we do then? That'll be a cool thing to like. They could really make an expansive ass RPG out of that, like a really good one. It'd probably take a long time and a lot of resources and a lot of money, but I think it would make a lot of money for them
Who do we
too.
give
I
it to,
think
Jesus? What studio do we give that to and give them
I
4
was saying
years?
the people who made Elden Ring.
Oh, is it? Now the name escapes me. Not Squaresoft. Well, who is that? Elden Ring. Damn.
I don't know. Let me look it up. Elden Ring was made by Elden Ring. It says Bandai Namco.
Yeah, but I forgot who made it. Like, who's the actual studio?
I'm gonna look it up.
Squaresoft? No. Why do I keep saying that? I don't know.
From software.
From
From
software.
Soft. Yeah, from software. That's it. I was close.
But see, they already work with that guy too. The guy who made the story for Elden Ring was the guy who made Game of Thrones.
Yes, I forgot about that.
So that's why I'm
yeah,
also saying they should pick
some of
them
the
to
lore.
do it. They could pick them to do it because that guy's already worked with them to make some of the lore for Elden Ring.
Yeah.
So if he already knows what it's like, he could just work with them again and be like, all right, guys, now we're making Game of Thrones into a video game. And they don't even have to make Game of Thrones in a video game to where like it's set in like the current times, right? Of Game of Thrones. It could be like, no, it's Game of Thrones fucking 4,000 years before the fucking shit happened in Game of Thrones, or 500 years before that happened. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Still have
House of the
dragons,
Dragon,
right?
yeah, like House of the Dragon. It's still, that's set before Game of Thrones, actually. So, and they have dragons and shit, right? Like they're riding around dragons, and so you can make a really cool RPG like that, dude. You could even set it before House of the Dragon, to where how like have all that shit, and then hell yeah, dude, that'd be
That'd be awesome.
badass.
Yeah. George R.R. Martin. That's the main writer guy.
Get on it, bro. Get on it, Georgie. We want some motherfucking House of the
With
Dragon
From Software
Game
and
of
get that game
Thrones.
rolling out. I want to see that game out in 2027.
2027. Yeah.
I mean, that would be a
Right.
short time, right? But really, 3 years.
Really, it'd probably be 2030 when we see that game.
Yeah,
They started it
Gunny over
now.
here. Gunny's over here
I'll be
rushing
in
them
the-
already.
I'll be in the nursing home on my Steam Deck 2. Steam Deck
Guys like
2,
Gunny over
by the
there,
way.
he's the guys that kind of create what were we calling it back in the day? With all the developers there,
Crunch.
Crunch. Yeah, he's
Crunch.
over there
Yeah.
making Crunch. First he's not charging tax, he's
Yeah.
charging taxes in free money cities. Now he's making Crunch over here. He's starting to sound like
I'm a
Dictator
tyrant.
Gunny over there. Yeah, you are.
Anyways, what else you guys been playing?
The only other game I've played, I checked out a little bit, is a little cheap game on Game Pass that's called From Space. And
Okay.
this is like a little top down. You can play multiplayer. It's like a little directional, like top down shooter. Very cartoon looking. Little aliens invade. And you can kind of get
It
different
looks
weapons,
cool.
and yeah, it looks kind of cool. Like it intrigued me. I was like, oh, this looks kind of neat. It played well. It played smooth. It didn't like completely grab me. But it
Okay.
was fun. Like I think it could be fun with a little group of people and stuff. It basically just you pick a character or I don't know if it's considered a class or not. There's like 4 or 5 of them you can use right away, and you go through and you find new guns and you can switch guns and there's little aliens that try to attack you and you're just kind of shooting them and you're working your way through and it gives you little missions you have to accomplish and stuff and you just keep progressing through the game. It's real bright colored and stuff. It looks real simple, but it was fun. Like I said, it was just something on Game Pass. It looked kind of cool. I figured I'd check it out, and I gave it just a little bit of time, just kind of played through a bit and kind of seen what it had going for it. But then I got into Last of Us again, and I kind of stepped away from it. So, but not a bad little game. Something like I said, one of those games on Game Pass. It's just kind of you can pick up and play with a couple of friends, and just shoot your way through. Not a little top-down shooter style.
Yeah. What was that game called again, Mayo?
From Space.
From Space. Okay. Check that out.
Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of cool. That's pretty much all I've played. The only thing I did, Jesus, I don't know if you ever did do this yet or not. I downloaded the NVIDIA app and I converted that over, and that has worked really well. Like I really like that. It allows you to run non-HDR games in HDR. Allows you to set like 4 or 5 builder setups, so you can do like different. You can change like they have this like dynamic brightness thing, so you can really change like the
Uh,
brightness and stuff, the way things look. And you can set up different little presets and create your own. Because once you create one, you have a slider, you can adjust it. So when the game launches, you can make it look how you want. So if you want to make things look more vibrant and stuff, you can. So it's really nice. And it integrates, all the other NVIDIA stuff into it really easily. So, and then it has the whole capture mode where you can do, capture it at 4K or you can capture 120 frames a second and stuff like that. So I haven't had any issues. I haven't had any crashes or nothing with it, so it's been really good. It's just an overlay that goes over your screen, and it shows you your information, kind of like with I really like the Game Pass one, that Microsoft Game Bar one, where you can pin it and it shows your CPU usage and
Yeah.
your frame rate and all that stuff for Game Pass games or Microsoft games. It's something like that you can do. They shows you CPU usage. It can show your frame rate and all that kind of stuff. So. You can set the transparency of it where you show it and stuff. So you put it in the corner. But yeah, it's been really good. I was kind of messing around with that a little bit, but I've been enjoying that as well.
Yeah.
That
I always
is
forget
it.
to do that if I'm playing a Game Pass game on PC. If I do, right? I kind of do a half and half between the Series X and Steam on the desktop. So I always forget, like, oh, yeah, I can actually go in and, kind of pin that so I can see my frames. What little
Yeah.
frames I get, I do want to know.
Yeah, definitely. If
Uh,
you like messing with something different or something like that, I don't know if you can do it, Gunny, on your graphics card or not, if it supports it. But I know
no,
Jesus
probably not.
can. But the NVIDIA app,
all right.
I'll check it out.
and it's
Probably.
in
So,
beta. Yeah.
yeah, I'm going to see it. I'm sure they do allow, 1070 Ti on there. Check that out.
That's it.
But before we move on, guys, I noticed this on Steam today. That it's not on the Series X or PS5, but if it is on PS5, let me know. So for the Dragon's Dogma 2, there's a character creator like app, but it's more like a game. So it's on Steam. So if you just type in Dragon's Dogma 2, so it's got the character creator in storage. It's official. It's by Capcom. It's kind of a free to play. So, and when the game actually comes out, you can actually transfer your character over there once you've completed it. So I thought that was really cool. So it'd be nice if we can actually get something like that on console, but it'd be nice to actually import that. But
Yeah, and maybe Gunny, you would know more about this because I didn't play the first one either. So it seems to me like you can create like side people that help you, but those side people can go to your friends' games and they can play in your friends' games, from my understanding. And
yes,
even like so, from my understanding, what I saw, like if I do have on my game where those characters are in my game, I'm using them and I go complete a quest quest line, if you use like my character, like my side character in your game, they can lead you through the quest line because they know what's going on. Like, because they've done it before, they'll actually lead you through it and help you through the quest line better.
Oh, that's cool. Like to know
So
that
that's
it
kind of what I was
didn't.
seeing. Like,
Yeah, that's cool to know that they're doing that. Like in this one, where like so in the first one, remember this is like a single player, so this is really something that can be played offline if you choose to, right?
mhm.
In the first one, which they call Dark Arisen now, because there was a piece of DLC that came out. I want to say it was maybe a couple years after the original Dragon's Dogma 2. So I didn't play actually too much of that. I played so much of the original because I think you had to be at like a really high level, or they let you just create a character. I think if you just want to start out in Dark Arisen. But other than that, vanilla game, you're just level 1. So and there is an easy mode, by the way, guys. So I'll point that out. That was one of the things that I remember in the original Dragon's Dogma was when you first start the game, it'll say, "Hey, this game's hard or whatever. Like you want to do baby mode?" And I'm like, "Yes, I do." So I definitely chose baby mode, and it was still kind of difficult because one of the things they always recommend in the first one, and I wonder if it's going to happen with the second, is you kind of start off at the castle, right? And, it's got the store and it's got the place for the pawns and different places where you can buy weapons and different things like in a store. So, but they always say like, don't go out at night because there's more scary enemies out there. They're going to be higher level difficulty. So you never want to get too far outside the castle walls, even though you'll have like a torch, you just want to kind of level up slowly in the daytime and return to the castle when you need to. But so in the first one, Mayo, I remember where, if you're just connected to the internet, basically you just go into the place where you can get they call them pawns, right? These little side
That's what they were
people
called,
that you
pawns.
can take with you. And I want to say like if you had somebody who was like a bow and arrow, right? I don't think you can get a second person in that class or whatever. You had to choose somebody like a mage or a warrior or something, right? If you weren't one yourself, I want to say it had to be evenly balanced. I can't remember. If you could all be archers or not, but either way, so you would go in and then you would I think it had like even the gamer tag associated with it to say, okay, here's a level 17 pawn or whatever. And I think it kind of showed you like some basic stats for that character. And so then, you would just take that character with you and you can level that character up as well, right? So, when you reach 19, they'd be 18, right? So it just kind of leveled up with you, if I remember.
I didn't really completely grasp it. That was my take on it. Like, you can create these pawns and then your friends can use them. You'll use them as well. And then, so maybe in this
I believe you
can create your pawns in the creator as well.
Yeah. Oh, right. Or you could just create one generic one or, something. You don't have to take somebody off the, like a friend's or somebody off the network or something, right? So, create your own. So, but I always took one from the community, right? The Xbox community, I guess, right? So, I always went in and just kind of grabbed one. It wasn't a hard thing, right? It was just like, oh, you're level 17, you're coming with me, right? So, and then, but here was the funny part about it is, so when you return a character, right, you go back in and say, all right, I want to take this character back in. They have an inventory, right? So they could have been like your what do you call it? Like your goat, right? Of just carrying shit with you. So your pack rat or something. So obviously you just say take everything or whatever. And then you would leave like a little token of appreciation, right? So somebody would always leave a bag of rocks for me or something. Like when they took my pawn, like my character, my pawn was that bad that you left 2 rocks and a leaf on their fucking inventory. Fuck you, okay? Like, thanks a lot. That was the appreciation, I think. So, but no, I always Mayo. I was different in that game. I'd always leave a little bit of gold and always leave something really nice for whoever it was, right? Always appreciated it. So. Yeah, I never left anybody a fucking rock in their inventory. Here you go, a rock in your pocket, buddy. That's all you get. So.
Yeah, it sounds like you'll have some more of this going on in this game.
Yeah, so that'll be nice to actually like if somebody went through an actual quest. That'd be nice to have something smarter AI companion going with you. Good stuff.
But it knows. Yeah, they were saying like it would know the pathway and it would know what's going on and stuff, and you could allow it to lead you through it.
That's awesome. Yeah. Yeah, because really, when you start out, you're like, where the hell am I going? No idea. I don't know if it had Fog of War. It's been so long since I played it, but you just gotta kind of find your way, And it gets dark at night, right? And you literally got to pull the torches out and kind of, see what's around the next corner. Could be 8 wolves coming at you. Be prepared. Bring food. Bring first aid. Can't wait, man. You sinking some hours into that. Fighting some big enemy, climbing on an enemy, stabbing it in the head with a knife, man. Oh, so good. So good. I think we're ready for what's next, Jesus. I think we're ready. What do you say, Mayo?
All right. It's news time. Move on to some news, gentlemen. We got news.
Pitty, 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 pitty.
Multiversus, the game you may have heard of a while back, Mayo, is springing back to life.
I thought that game was over. I just remember it came out. Like, what happened?
More than 8 months after the open beta was taken offline, Player First Games has announced that Smash-like fighting game Multiversus will go into full release on May 28th. Multiversus made quite a splash when it launched into open beta back in July of 2022, attracting millions of players and running through 2 full seasons before it was unexpectedly ended a year later. So, this was a game that had like a Warner Brother characters, right? Like Looney Tunes.
Yeah.
You could fight and shit. Anyways, much has changed during that time. Multiversus says they have moved to Unreal Engine 5 and they have rebuilt the game from the ground up to support our new netcode. Okay? Which director Tony Hoyne, how do you pronounce his last name? Hoyne? It's Huynh. That's his last name, okay? I don't know how to pronounce his last fucking name. Said, will provide more consistent and accurate gameplay regardless of platform. Each character in the game will have new attacks and combat mechanics, and a new PvE mode with unique rewards has been added. They also teased the addition of some really exciting brand new personalities to the Multiversus lineup, although nothing specific on who's coming has been revealed just yet. So there's that.
Nice. I remember Gibbs played it. I was watching it on Twitch one Saturday, and I was like, "Oh, this game looks pretty cool." Then I don't know, and then it seemed like it was a shorter time than 8 months, but nice to see it come back alive again.
Yeah. May 28th. If you're looking forward to Multiversus, you can get it then. Anyways, another news. Move on to more news here. Says here that issues around the use of AI in the production process is the big sticking point in the SAG-AFTRA's negotiations with the largest video game companies. SAG-AFTRA Chief Duncan Crabtree Ireland said Saturday during a wide-ranging Q&A at SX by SW in Austin, Texas. Was it Southwest? Well, what the fuck does that stand for?
South by Southwest?
South by
Is that
Southwest?
what that is?
Yeah, that's what that is.
I've heard of that. I don't even know what that is, but I've heard it from Rooster Teeth, which sadly
like
closed down.
It's like a thing or whatever. Anyways, Couch Ireland, who is the National Executive Director, Chief Negotiator of the Performers Union, said he put the chances of union members striking against game companies as 50-50, or more likely than that will go on strike in the next 4 to 6 weeks because of our inability to get past these issues. In September, some 98% of SAG-AFTRA members voted to authorize a strike against major video game producers, including Activision, which is now part of Microsoft, EA, Epic Games, Take-Two, and WB Games. The union leader acknowledged that there are strong opinions and divisions within SAG-AFTRA, 160,000 plus members, about how to handle the threat to human performance posted by emerging AI and generative AI tools. Some pushed the union to demand an outright ban on the use of AI in union-covered productions. Crabtree said he knew that was a non-starter. He said, "We will not have succeeded any more than any union ever in history has been able to stop technology. Unions that try that approach, they fail and they give up the chance to influence how those technologies are implemented. The fact of the matter is, we are going to have AI." Crabtree emphasized repeatedly that the union's position on AI revolves around consent and compensation for their members when AI engines use their work. We want to make sure the implementation is human-centered and focused on augmentation of production, not replacement of people. The AI provisions established last year in SAG-AFTRA's hard-fought film and TV contracts are helpful in setting the template for the video game agreement. But gaming also has its own unique issues because of how the content evolves over long periods of time. Hollywood's largest studios had hoped to push off questions about regulations on AI until at least 2026 of master contract negotiations. They thought they would be able to get through this cycle without making any substantial agreements on AI, he said. Negotiators for the Alliance of Motion Picture and Television Producers were taken by surprise when SAG-AFTRA brought a detailed AI proposal into the negotiation room on June 27th. By July 14th, SAG-AFTRA began a work stoppage that extended through November 8th. The union leader noted that video game producers should not underestimate members' level of concern around AI and their resolve to strike if it's necessary. He said, "We do not want to go on strike, but we're not going to make a deal with these companies that do not protect our members from abusive and exploitative uses of AI." As for film and TV production, Crabtree said the focus is on finding productive uses for the tech that do not threaten anybody's job. At present, he sees the major studios as looking to use of replication to streamline their production processes more so than use of full synthesis to replace performers. He said, "Our main focus is making sure that any replication happens with informed consent and fair compensation." So it seems to be now like people are saying like, "Hey man, hey, the fuck's this AI shit? We're gonna lose our jobs to this shit." So people are trying to get ahead of it, right?
Right. Yes.
And I guess we'll see what happens, man, because if they don't agree and then they strike and then the companies decide to use AI anyways, then who loses?
Right.
The workers, right? The union loses. Because
Yeah.
what if companies
Because
what if companies just say, you know what? Fuck you guys. We don't need you anymore. We don't need actors. We don't need these famous actors to come in and play the main characters of our games. We don't need you. We'll just hire some random actor that wants to make it big and they'll do it for anything.
yeah. Or hire, like I think we talked about it before. You could just hire the janitor, right? Like, oh, he's non-union, she's non-union, right? We could just grab her and use, her likeness because she's only agreeing to $1,000 or something.
Yeah.
That's all we need, and then we'll do the rest, right?
Yeah,
Because
we'll do the voice, we'll do everything with AI.
everything with AI, we just need your likeness, maybe your face, your voice, and then we'll just do the
Yeah.
rest. Thank you very much.
Yeah, we
Because
need
you
you to
couldn't
say,
do it with the union. Remember,
yeah,
you couldn't.
we need you to say these 1,000 words into the computer real quick, into this microphone. Read these 1,000 words in here. We want you to use different emotions as you read it, and then the AI will compute the rest of your voice lines. It'll just record that, and it'll generate a voice from the lines that you spoke. And now we have your voice. Now we have what you look like. Now we don't need anything else. And then boom, AI does the rest.
Yeah.
I mean, at that point, that sucks. But I mean, that could happen eventually, right? Like,
Yeah, it can
Right.
happen really easy,
these
I think.
these companies could be like, you know what? Fuck the union. Fuck you guys. We don't.
Yeah.
We don't give
'Cause
a fuck.
Because I can also see the argument side on like the actors in the union where they might say, "Oh, well, they wanted me to read these 500 words into the thing, but then the way they use the AI, it made it to where I didn't create it." But then the game developer could say, "Well, we pay the actor, good for it or something, like we paid him in full, him or her, we paid them, to read those 500 words." But yeah, it's going to be tough, right? Especially with the union,
Yeah.
it's going to be a real slippery slope going forward. It's going to be hard. It's going to be interesting to see how that plays out,
What a whole AI shit, man. Yeah.
especially when it comes to acting. AI, what a conflict.
It is. In other news, what else? What else? We got other news here. Ori and the Blind Forest developer of Ori and the Blind Forest revealed that the Metrovania series has sold around 10 million copies when it could have bankrupted the developer. The director of Ori and the Blind Forest has taken to Twitter to show off their latest purchase, Mayo, along with the photo of the Neo Geo, one of the most expensive consoles of all time when adjusted with inflation, and a copy of Metal Slug 3. Thomas Mailer wrote, "If Blind Forest would have flopped back then, we would have been bankrupt as a studio. But thank God it didn't. We sold around 10 million copies of Ori so far, which probably makes it the most successful Metrovania series ever made, and it allowed me to buy this." And that was a picture of the Neo Geo console or whatever.
Yeah.
But they also followed with some more tweets saying, like they didn't just buy that. They bought seven, not one or two, Mayo, 7 Sega Dreamcast consoles, some
Wow.
PlayStation 2 and PS3 dev kits, and a special edition Nintendo GameCube and more. And they said it's been 9 years since Ori and the Blind Forest was released, and 4 years since their sequel of Ori and Will of the Wisps. Both games have clearly been very successful for the studio and prove that it was the right decision to take a risk on developing them, even if it meant that they might go bankrupt. Says Moon Game Studio is now working on what Mailer calls the studio's Zelda after its Mario, which in this situation is Ori, right? The developer has taken a surprising new direction this time and is now working on an action RPG called No Rest for the Wicked.
Yeah.
And that's coming, is set to be a precision-based Diablo rival with brutal combat, with no microtransactions and any battle passes, and even some interior decorating.
Ooh, nice. No
You
$60
excited?
horse DLC. I like it.
You excited, Mel, for
No rest for the wicked?
rest
Fuck
for the
yeah, I am.
Yeah, we'll check it out. I mean, if it's a Diablo type game.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's a good story. I'm sure I'm just going to put 2 and 2 together and say that he bought these consoles, or they bought these consoles, right? And they're just at the office and anybody can play them. I don't know if it's his own collection or not, but it made it sound like, everybody's sitting around playing some retro games. That's pretty damn cool, man. And the amount of, I didn't even know they sold that many on the first game, but Ori and Will of the Wisp was actually really good. I almost finished that game, but then I just gave up at the end.
I wonder if they do that for inspiration.
Oh, 100%. I think.
Like play some old games or whatever,
Yeah.
Get some inspiration on what to do.
Old school side scrollers, top downs, 90s retro. Yeah. Good stuff.
In other news, Final Fantasy 16 Mayo, the port for the PC is at its end of its development cycle. Producer Naoki Yoshida has revealed. Yoshida said as much in a new interview with Game Informer, in which he also spoke vaguely about what PC players can expect in terms of system requirements. He did not get into any specifics, but it sounds like the sprawling action RPG will take quite a toll on your rig, depending on your specs. In terms of where we are in development currently, we are trying to figure out the final stages of optimization right now. When we can release the PC version might depend on that, the system requirements and specifications for PC that players will need, so we're trying to figure all that out. Naturally, the PC specifications are looking to be somewhat very high. There's that. They said they need a little bit more time before they announce
30 series.
Oh, I'm thinking 40, dude.
The 40 series. You think that's what they're alluding to?
I'm assuming minimum will be a 2080, 2060. Yeah. I don't think you're going to be able to play this on a 1060, 1070. I mean, you might.
Maybe.
It's not going to run very well. Yeah.
Maybe on low settings. I could see a 1080, like a 1080 Ti doing it or something, maybe.
Yeah. But I would say maybe the recommended minimum would be a 2060 if he's saying hard, heavy, like.
Yeah.
I don't know. What is considered what is considered to be a good low end PC right now? Is that a 1080? Like if you say I have an old PC, old PC and it's old PC, but it still works good for me. What is a good old PC that still works good for you? Is that a 1080, 1070, 1060?
Yeah,
I think so.
Guess.
Yes,
I think so, because me and Ghost Nico both have the 1070 and we've been able to play most things.
Right? Yeah, most things, right? Even though they're not like super ultra fucking settings, you still play it, right? And it still looks
everything on medium, or some things high, some things medium. Yeah. Low ambient, low fog. Yeah, works good.
In other news, move on here to more news here. A new Activision QA union is now the largest in the video game industry. A group of roughly 600 software testers at Activision on Friday formed the U.S. video games industry's largest union so far. The union is the first to organize under the new labor agreement negotiated as part of Microsoft's $69 billion acquisition of Activision in October, the company's largest takeover yet. The agreement requires Microsoft to remain neutral about employees who express their interest in unionizing and provide adequate lines of communication and information for those workers to decide. That labor neutrality agreement took effect after the Microsoft Activision deal closed back in October, following months of regulatory pushback. They said, We maintain our commitment to remain neutral during the organizing campaign and following this vote, Microsoft lawyer Amy Pannoni said in a statement. In January, Microsoft did lay off 1,900 workers in its gaming division. Activision Quality Assurance United, CWA, the name of the union, is seeking higher wages and more career opportunities. The employees who work for Activision's Quality Assurance Division in California, Texas, and Minnesota joined the Communications Workers of America to form the record-breaking alliance. Microsoft continues to keep its commitment to let workers decide for themselves whether they want a union, said CWA President Claude Cummings Jr. in a statement. Labor organizing in the tech industry has proliferated over the years as big tech firms have grown and come under more scrutiny for worker protections. QA workers at Activision who vet games for glitches and bugs have particularly emphasized the need for labor protections, noticing their roles feeling undervalued compared to software engineers or game developers. Before the Microsoft Activision deal closed, QA workers at the Video Game Makers Albany branch had also formed a union. QA is currently an undervalued discipline in games and software industries, the Albany wrote on a social media at the time. We strive to foster work environments where we are respected and compensated for our essential role in the development process of games. Hey man, good for them, right?
Yes, 100%.
Good for them, right? They get a little bit more, because I can imagine, right, having that kind of job. It's probably stressful as fuck, dude. Think about it. You're QA testing what? Call of Duty, fucking whatever, and then whatever it's about to come out, and then boom, fucking oh, you're let go now because we don't need 1,000 QA testers anymore. Like we'll need them in 7 months. We could rehire you then, maybe.
Right.
So,
Yeah, I like that. Right. So that, I mean, we've heard some other stories in the past, of, I can't think of anything specific, but I think it was definitely related to like Activision that I remember us reading about.
Yeah, remember that was the
Them not
Activision
just getting
union.
fully compensated for, a full 8-hour day or whatever, or unpaid holidays or something, or not enough medical. But now, like with the union, right, which is great because we know all three of us are in a union, and as we
Mhm.
know, and sometimes it's always good for the employer as well because the union takes care of the medical and the dental and the pensions if you get one, or it all works out in the end. I think for everybody. So and
And
you get a happier employee.
happier workers. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
there's that. I don't
Not in
know.
my
Mayo
city
doesn't.
though. By the way, Jesus, not in my city skylines.
Gunny's a union buster in city skylines.
I
Gunny's
I
out.
set union halls on
Think,
fire in my
hey,
game.
you motherfuckers built a union hall. We're destroying that building right now. Destroying that whole road. Ain't
There's a
nobody gonna have
tornado coming
access.
through. Yeah.
There's a comet landing right on that street, right there. It's gonna land right there. Big comet from space. It's coming in right now.
Any houses around it are just expendable. Yeah.
Oh man, this big forest fire just came through and burned all these houses, these buildings. That sucks. We had no firemen over here.
No emergency plans. What's up? What's going on? No
No
shelters. What's up?
no evacuation plans.
There
Oh,
was
that sucks.
no warning of it, that comet even coming in.
It just came
Showed
in,
up.
guys. Don't know what happened. Fucking Getty. With unlimited money, fucking union busting.
I'll just pave it all down and put a big shopping mall there after.
Microsoft confirms Russian hackers gained access to their source code and internal systems. They say they've been hacked by what is a state-sponsored Russian group known as Midnight Blizzard.
Ooh, that sounds scary.
Sounds like a bunch of bad motherfuckers. Not Midnight Blizzard. We're coming to get you. On top of that, the group has gained access to various internal systems and company source code. In recent weeks, we have seen evidence that Midnight Blizzard is using information initially exfiltrated from our corporate email systems to gain or attempt to gain unauthorized access, Microsoft said. This has included access to some of the company's source code, repositories, and internal systems. As far as any Microsoft-hosted customer-facing systems, Microsoft says that it hasn't found any evidence of the hackers gaining access to that information yet. That said, the group did get access to some customer details through emails access. It is apparent that Midnight Blizzard is attempting to use the secrets of different types it has found. Some of these secrets were shared between customers and Microsoft in email, and as we discovered them in our exfiltrated email, we have been and are reaching out to these customers to assist them in mitigating any security measures. The attack on Microsoft was first announced back in January. Since then, Microsoft says it has and will continue to improve their security investments to make sure information is protected. Microsoft also added that the investigation into the Russian hackers is not done yet, and more details will come out as it is found. Our active investigations of Midnight Blizzard activities are ongoing, and findings of our investigations will continue to evolve. We remain committed to sharing what we learn. There's that. Hackers are hacking Microsoft, man.
Damn. As long as they don't hack my Xbox account and take it over, take all my games. Suck.
Okay. Moving to some more news. The developer behind Open is Walker Labs, built from industry veterans that previously worked at Epic Games, Dice Games, Microsoft, and more. Readyverse Studios was built by Shara Senderoff, Aaron McDonald, and Ernest Klein, so there's no surprise that Open will feature a Ready Player One biome. So this is a metaverse battle royale, Gunny, okay? They will add nostalgia-infused biomes featuring characters and cultural legends across iconic franchises. It aims to span a wide range of pop culture. Open gameplay will include multi-round, collaborative, and competitive game modes with a single winner. Players will need to use tactical positioning, slide movement, strategic shooting, and driving skills. Boom, boom, boom. They say this is a new battle royale coming out, Mayo, but it's going to be a metaverse battle royale, and it's being done with like the guy who made Ready Player One.
Mm-hmm.
So they're gonna like have like the maps or whatever in it that you're battle royaling in will have like different pop culture things. So they might have a map that's Halo, and then ones that's Call of Duty, and then ones that's Minecraft,
Interesting.
one that's
Diablo,
fucking
Doom,
The Last of Us and Diablo and whatever fucking
GTA. I want GTA.
Okay. How are you going to do that? How are you going to get these companies to agree to let you use their shit?
I guess they'll
That's what I
be.
want to know.
Yeah,
How much
I don't
money
know.
do you?
Well, I don't know. Not
You got to have
their
a
own
lot of
version.
fucking money. You got to have a lot of fucking money to convince these companies to say, "Hey, Fortnite, let us use your thing in our game." And Fortnite's going to be like, "Fuck you. Where's my forest? I ain't giving away my forest to you."
We'll sue you for more forest money.
Like, you think Epic's not going to go for this shit? Epic will do this in 2 days. Watch,
Yeah.
next week, Epic announces the metaverse in Epic and Fortnite. Hey, guys, we know you guys like Ready Player One and Metaverse. Well, we're doing it in Fortnite right now.
You know, we did Lego. Now we're teaming up with Microsoft to do some kind of Minecraft map looking thing, but still be in the third person view or something. I don't know. Yeah. No, I'm sure
Alright.
like it'll just be themed that way, right? It won't be, may not be copyright infringement or something. Because hey, if Power World can get away with it, why can't these guys? Don't see an issue. Kind of change some curves on the characters, and you're good to go. I think it'll work.
All right, move on to some more news. Microsoft's Rare Studios Sea of Thieves is currently the number one, Mayo.
Yay, number one, Xbox.
Number one.
Xbox is number one.
Most pre-ordered game on PlayStation.
Never mind.
That's right. Last month, Microsoft confirmed in an Xbox Business Update podcast that it would be bringing some of their exclusive Xbox games to PlayStation and Nintendo Switch. The first of games included Grounded, Pentiment, Hi-Fi Rush, and Sea of Thieves. Sea of Thieves is by far the biggest game of the bunch, given that the multiplayer sandbox pirate adventure has reached tens of millions of players across both Xbox consoles and PC. Microsoft's decision to dilute the meaning of Xbox exclusive has been met with some fierce resistance in some quarters and quiet skepticism on others. But with all that being said, Sea of Thieves is currently the number one best-selling pre-order game on the PlayStation Network in the United States right now. Boom,
Yeah.
man.
That's over top of Dragon's Dogma, I would assume then.
And Rise of Ronin.
Yeah.
That's an exclusive PlayStation title.
Yeah, I remember they did some of the
Wow.
PlayStation people in the community, probably on Twitter or something or Facebook, were like petitioning, Rare to do this. Come on, bring it over. This was a couple years ago. Like, I can't believe it's Xbox. Yeah. And they were like, go get a PC, huh? So, yeah. Or play on your phone, play it, on your Android or Apple iOS, But cool to see it actually come over to a console. That's cool. It's going to be game is going to get a good resurgence again. Interesting. It just makes me wonder, like, why these 4 games, coming to different consoles? But yeah, like over to Switch and PlayStation. Why not 8? I don't know. It just seems weird, but yeah. Why these 4?
Pentiment was one that I always thought was kind of weird.
Yeah, that one right there. I wonder who's that one from? I think I remember the name of the studio. It'll come to me, but yeah, it's more of a not a well-known game, right? So yeah, I just wonder like when they get on the phone, when Phil and Matt Booty or whoever gets on the phone with all the different studios, like how does that conversation go? Like, I'm sure there's no doubt in my mind that all of these studios from Bethesda and all these recent acquisitions and Activision's kind of new to the game, right? But yeah, where they just say, all right, so like, do we want to put this game on PlayStation? I'm sure they're all going to say yes, right? Like, hell yeah, it's more money for the studio, right? That kind of acts as an independent kind of budget thing, right? Of course, we want to sell more fucking games, But yeah, I just wonder who makes that decision right at the end, Is it Phil Spencer or Sarah Bond or just somebody there that just is, all right, we're just going to choose 4, or random games. I don't know. It seems odd.
Or maybe it has something to do with the what's the word, developers and stuff.
Yeah. You think so? I mean, I don't know. I'm just trying to think of a good example. Okay. Why not Bethesda and not Peter Hines? He left, right? Who's the other guy? Makes Fallout and Starfield, right? Where we want to put that on the PlayStation. It would sell 3 million copies, and that would mean another bigger budget for us, or more money in our studio, or I don't know, right? So yeah, right. I sure it comes from the top, right? They're the ones that actually decide, whether they want to put anything on another console, right?
Yeah, I don't know. To me, I just thought, like I said, Pentiment really stuck out. But it's like, okay, why? There's some other titles I think could be better on another console that you could benefit more from.
Yeah.
But I guess there's a balance too of keeping the Xbox people happy as well. You don't want to put anything other like like we've said before, like Starfield. You don't want to put that out there because that's gonna make your Xbox fan base.
Is that what it is? I mean, do you think that's what it is? Why? So that was Obsidian who made Pentiment, right? And then they make Outer Worlds. I don't know if they did put that on PlayStation. I don't know if that was prior to the acquisition or not.
I don't know if they did or not either.
But let's just say they didn't, right? But that just kind of stayed exclusive to the Xbox console. And obviously everything's on PC and through the cloud. But yeah, I just wonder how those conversations kind of play out, where it's like, no, I want Outer Worlds on there and whatever else Obsidian made since, being acquired by Xbox, right? Like, yeah.
But it just goes to show too, like, like with this being so pre-ordered and stuff, that game is what, 8 to 10 years old now? Sea of Thieves?
Yeah.
It's been a minute that it can still sell. Like, so, and it's going to bring people into it. It's just a good move. But, they talk about, putting these games on PC now and then put them on other platforms. It's just a better opportunity for them to make more money, more people playing.
Yeah. But why Mayo? But here's my question. Like, I'm going to leave my personal feelings out of it, where I think if you're going to make an exclusive, make an exclusive, right? Right? Because it's all about the ecosystem, right? To me personally, right? To say, and I'm not one of those people like, oh, I don't like other people enjoying games, right? But if I want to invest in a system like I have with Xbox, right? That's why I bought a Series X, right? That's why I have it. And I feel like the PC Game Pass to me is another added benefit, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I don't have to go buy like I said, the PlayStation 5. But I could, right? If I say, hey, I want to play the next Final Fantasy or the next God of War, or but you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. But now I just feel, I don't know. It just feels like to me, like where, like, okay, what's next? Like, am I just going to be less vested in my Xbox?
I don't know. I don't know for me, if it's like I don't have as much Xbox loyalty as like you guys do, because I've been more of a PC guy. To where, like, to me, it's just kind of like, what's the big deal if other people are playing the game on another platform? Maybe get early access, on your platform if it's like a Microsoft owned game. okay,
Yeah.
you get early access to it and you can play it earlier than other people. But what's the big deal there? Of somebody on the PlayStation could play, an Xbox title,
I
or
mean,
especially
well,
like
I've got a great rebuttal to that because I think you had even talked about this when you started the show, and we were kind of poking fun at you about where you like your Steam library, don't you? You like, seeing all those games that you've collected over the years,
yeah,
right?
but I would not be unhappy if somebody was playing a game not on Steam. If I could cross play with somebody from Epic, I wouldn't care. Whether they buy it for
Okay.
Epic or Steam, because you have your library, right, and you have your friends list, and you have that ecosystem, and as long as you can still play with those people, like it doesn't affect that. You're still playing with your friends, and you can still buy it on your preferred console or system or whatever. It just,
But
I'm
when
like,
Epic started those exclusive kind of the timed exclusives, right? Let me point that out. Timed exclusives.
mhm.
Xbox does the same thing. Sony does the same thing with the PlayStation, right? We just don't. Usually with Sony, we just weren't in the know, right? In that we didn't never saw the fine details of the contract, but um, and they're still kind of like iffy on it, right? Where how long it's going to be a time exclusive. So, but Mayo, if you remember, even with Epic, where I think they were what do they do a lot with 2K, right? All your
A
Borderlands and
lot of
other
Ubisoft type stuff, yeah.
Ubisoft type stuff as well. Well, and then you were like, oh man, I either got to go buy it on the Uplay store or I got to buy it on Epic, right? Like now it's not my. I don't know. How does that make you feel? Do you feel like what the fuck? I can't put it. In my. Do you see what I'm saying? Like as
Yeah,
far as like my
it doesn't
library,
really
I
bug
guess
me.
that's
For me, like if there's a game that came out on Epic, and I really wanted to play it, I'll pick it up and play with people on my friends list in Epic.
yeah.
But sometimes I'll just wait. If it's something I'm not like, all gun ho to play or something like that, I'll wait until it comes out on Steam. I'm fine with that. Like I don't if it was like a big title. I can't remember the last game that came out on Epic. It was kind of a bigger title. I remember there was something recently, but I was like, okay, I didn't pick it up, but I was kind of okay with it. Like I don't mind. It's still the PC though. It's different on PC than it is on console because even though it's on Epic or Steam, it's still on my PC. I can still play it one way or another. But I don't know. I just feel like it's not as much of an issue sometimes as people make it to be. The more people you can get playing the game, the more money it's made, and then that just either it will make it have money for a sequel or more money in development or whatever.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like I
Yeah.
said, it's kind of a fine line. Like I don't mind seeing stuff on other consoles. But I also have both systems too, so I don't really care. Whether one's exclusive or not. If some of these Sony games came out on the Xbox, I don't think it would be that big of a deal. Like I don't think like it'd be more sales. Like if they release Spider-Man on the Xbox Series X, like right now, like say like go back to like Miles Morales Spider-Man, it would probably generate a lot of sales over there and make a
I'm
lot of money for Sony.
I'm sure it would. I don't know. To me, it just
And
feels like it's diminishing the ecosystem that I'm in, right? Where that console, whatever, which is already the underdog, which I don't mind, right?
yeah,
Microsoft's the
but
underdog. It's fine.
you're still playing, and you're still playing with your friends. You're still
Yeah,
buying it on
still
your
there.
system. It doesn't really change anything for you. It just it feels different because oh no, a Sony guy can play your game, or whatever, or vice
Well,
versa.
I think it's more. Maybe I'm not conveying it enough. Where I feel like going forward is uncertain now, right? It just really feels
Right.
uncertain for me.
I mean, I do get
Again,
oh, I bought
I'm
this
not.
console for this purpose, so you invested in it in that way. But most of the games are on both consoles and stuff. I just think you should just play where you want to play, and then they should just have games pretty much everywhere. It really, I
Yeah,
mean, maybe it's just a PC way of thinking things now, but like I just don't mind. Like if a game came out today and it was only on PlayStation, like I would just pick it up on PlayStation or whatever. But if it was on Xbox as well, it's like okay, we have enough big AAA titles you see come out on all systems like Dragon's Dogma. That's coming out on everything. So it's like it's just gonna make more sales for that game.
right. I guess that would have been, even way back in the Xbox One days, right? Even though um, maybe I would have been more saltier, right? Because I have been since I heard of this podcast where I've been more that multi-platform gamer, right? Multi-variety games, right? Mostly action, but still, like, oh, I'm going to pick up a PS4 Pro. I had the PlayStation 3, right? I got
Mhm.
a low budget PC, right? I've got a Steam Deck, right? So, yeah, I feel like that blows kind of lessened for me personally, right?
What
Where
do you think, Jesus? I know you just kind of got to stop away for a second, but about the whole exclusive on certain consoles or whatever. Do you think it's smarter to open them up and then play them on different consoles? for the money.
Yeah, but at the same time, I understand why they do it.
Yeah, I do too. I mean, it's
Yeah,
gonna sell consoles, right? But anymore,
yeah, yeah. That's the
they
whole
make so
reason.
much
I
less.
mean,
They
Yeah.
make less money on console sales nowadays, and that's why I see them more moving toward streaming or like these cheaper and stick, maybe
yeah.
like a stick or Xbox app or something like that.
Eventually,
Usually,
the best situation in gaming, I think, would be to just put it on everything and let people play on what they prefer to play on. The problem with that being said, though, is at a certain point, companies will realize we're not making enough money on the hardware. Why are we even doing the hardware? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I did see Jesus real
So,
quick. I
like,
think it was Peter Moore. Was that his name? He worked for EA, Xbox as an executive. I could get the name wrong. But he just was doing an article this week, excuse me, earlier last week, just talking about the same exact thing you're saying about, you know, just the way where, kind of the console space is going, right? Whether it's an Xbox or a PlayStation or yeah, how the PC market's growing and,
I think it should be on everything, but at the same time, I understand why they don't. They're kind of like
but what about like timing
hesitant
it?
about
Like I
doing it.
said, like what if the PlayStation released Miles Morales
At,
Spider-Man on the
at, a,
Xbox?
at a certain point, it won't matter. At a certain point, people get used to the wait. They'll just be like, "I'd rather wait."
Yeah,
If I already have a PlayStation and you're telling me that your Halo is going to be coming to my PlayStation 6 months after it comes to the Xbox, then guess what? I'll wait for it to come to my PlayStation.
yeah,
I'm
I
right.
not
see
gonna.
those comments all the time. It's
I'm not
true.
gonna go buy an Xbox. It's just like the PC gamers that don't want to buy a PlayStation. They're like, well, if PlayStation games are gonna come to the PC a year later,
Right, right.
I'll just wait the year. Ghost of Tsushima will come 2 years later. I'll wait 2 years to play Ghost of Tsushima on the PC with better graphics. That's just the situation of the whole thing. Like, yeah, I would. It would be a great ideal world for anyone to be able to play like Alan Wake 2 on the Switch with shitty graphics
I
or
guess
whatever.
I guess we
Problem
don't
with
have the
that is
numbers.
though is cost, man. You think about the
Yeah,
Yeah.
cost of having to develop for everything, and that's where it comes in. When people complain about jobs being cut and studios shutting down and not making enough money, it's because you're spending $200 million to make a game and you make it. You know what you're making it for. But now you're making it for every console and a lot of PCs that have different hardware configurations. Now you're adding like another what, $200 million in costs, if not more, to try to make it work on everything, And at that point, you're like, fuck, like, what are we doing? Like, what if this game doesn't hit? What if you release the game and it's shit and people don't like it?
and we see a
And
lot of that
people,
nowadays.
yeah, and people say, oh, fuck this game. We'll just wait till it goes to $5 on a sale.
Yeah.
Well, at that point, you just lost all that money you invested, all that extra money you also invested because you wanted to release it on multiple platforms. And after a while of doing that, studios get shut down. And after a while of that, companies start thinking, "Oh, why are we making PlayStation if Xbox keeps outselling us? Why are we making Xbox if PlayStation keeps outselling us? Why are we making Nintendo Switches if people just keep buying Mario on PlayStation?" And at a certain point, they just eventually it'll happen. I think it will. Eventually, I think all these companies, Nintendo, Microsoft, PlayStations, Microsoft Xbox, they will not be hardware companies.
Yeah, and down the
They
road, I
they
guess
will
be what one
they
or two
will
more consoles
be
down the road, maybe.
yeah, I say two more console generations, maybe three or four even. By 2040 though, I believe that most of these companies will be strictly streaming platforms. They
Because I
will
think
not be
the barrier to
consoles.
entry would be a lot cheaper if they can get people like say like the console cost down, to where it's like we said before, like we mentioned like a streaming stick or something just built in your TV, like my Samsung TV has the Xbox Game Pass app already built in. As internet got better, and which would be a long ways down the road, our infrastructure and the
Yeah.
internet here isn't that great. But could you imagine like if it's just an app where you just paid for like Netflix, it's just a subscription,
Yeah.
it would save them money in research and development and making consoles, but then it would be like, okay, who cares where it's on, what app it's on, as long as you're getting somebody to
Who
pay
Right.
for it
cares?
there.
Yeah.
Because
Right.
you
And you
could
could
have an
have
Xbox
It'll
app and a
happen.
PlayStation app and could have the same game on both, and
It'll
it wouldn't really
happen.
matter.
It might even be one thing. It might even be like they all joined forces, Microsoft, Nintendo, and PlayStation join forces and say, let's just make one big app that has all our games on it. everything we do and put it on that one app. And any developer that puts their game on that app, we get a cut each. So instead of each of us getting 30% cut, we all get a 10% cut.
Yeah.
Boom.
You know, it makes me think about also where, I think, like, for example, Comcast, right? That's what I have here. I did keep my high streaming. I don't know what my up and down is, but I did keep the really good internet here, where I have the lowest one at my other place. But you know what? And I think about it, Jesus, where you remember the boxes, they were kind of big, right? Where remember they were the DVR box. I mean, they weren't super large, but I want to say they were like the OG Xbox One, because it had the DVR and shit. And now, now I've just got kind of the basic where it's just got, you know, kind of all the apps, right? And it's just a small little box, and probably all it is just basically a Raspberry Pi. Because the only thing coming out of it is just your little power cord and your HDMI, and really that's it, right? Because that's just connected to your Wi-Fi box, and everything in there is an app, right? So I can definitely see that coming, where it's just going to be, all right, I just have the box, and all I got to do is just pay Comcast for just the little extra services or whatever, right? Because I got a deal with the Xbox streaming app and the PlayStation streaming app and the Epic streaming app, right? I could definitely see that coming as well. Because I thought about the dongle thing, Mayo, and I know, that kind of first popped up where, Microsoft was kind of kicking the idea around, right? Or like, oh, we could just do a dongle. It could just go into the TV, and all I need is a controller and play my cloud games, right? But I don't know. I don't think so, right? I think Microsoft's more about play it on your phone because everybody has one, right? And it would be hard to do with all the TV manufacturers, right? But easy to do with an actual, streaming box or whatever, right? Because you can,
Right.
it's got the 50, 80 apps or whatever it is to it. ESPN and Xbox and put PlayStation and Epic, and Nintendo wants to join in and, add something on there. I doubt they would, but in the future they might, right? Because not everybody has a Switch. So yeah, join in, we'll have something else new on there as well. Fanatical, I don't know, GOG, right? So everything's just launching through the cloud, I could definitely see that in the future. That'll be a thing,
Move on now to some more news. Some other news that I have here, guys. Sony Microsoft news. I don't know if you guys have covered this or not.
No, I think I put that in there.
Okay. It's been 3 decades since the Sony PlayStation first brought to life some of the video games industry's most beloved franchises. SIE President and CEO Jim Ryan is set to retire in March of 2024. His tenure began back in 1994, the same year the PlayStation launched in Japan. The gaming console expanded into the US a year later in 1995. Before the launch, there was considerable uncertainty. We were moving into a space that had two pretty entrenched occupants, Nintendo and Sega, Ryan said. John Layden, the former chairman of Sony Interactive Entertainment Worldwide Studios, credits the early success of the PlayStation to a joint venture between Sony Music and Sony Electronics. I think from the beginning the company knew just being a tech company wasn't enough. You had to bring some secret sauce in from the entertainment world. The PS2 was released in 2000, and it's still the best-selling video game console of all time, with over 155 million consoles sold, according to the company's financial statements. We went into the markets where video gaming had never really been a thing. In Southern Europe, for example, Italy and Spain, and places like the Middle East. We established a gaming culture where none had ever existed, said Ryan. But the PlayStation's 30-year history did not come without speed bumps, and the future remains uncertain. Most recently, Microsoft's $69 billion Activision Blizzard acquisition presented a major threat to Sony's long-standing gaming business. The big controversy is obviously that Activision is a big producer of games, and the concern was that Microsoft acquiring them, they would own pretty much what is left of independent big studios and not share the games over with PlayStation. The Japanese gaming giant cut its sales forecast for the PS5, its most recent console released in 2020, and they warned of lower demand, and they laid off 900 workers in February 27th. So there's that. And I mean, pretty much this article is just saying like Sony is kind of like, I don't know, man. They're a little worried maybe. A little worried of what the future might hold for them. But who knows? The other thing that I've heard too is that these companies, and Sony most specifically, they're worried about their current decision or their recent decision recently to make their games live service games. And developers are worried about that because they're saying like, hey man, like these games are hit or miss. You know, like you could have a really big success with the live service game or just have it flop like Suicide Squad. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Do you think you
Like,
should? But I kind of I'm a
like
little bit on Sony's side on that one.
Helldivers 2 is a great success for PlayStation. But I mean, if they made a Last of Us 2 live service game, would people like it? If they made a Horizon Zero Dawn live service game, would people like it? If they made a whatever fucking live service game, would people like it? I mean, Destiny is probably a given people would like it, right? It has a fan base, it's established. But would they should they take that risk with The Last of Us? Should they take that risk with uh Horizon, Uncharted, any of these other fucking titles they own that are their big tentpole franchises? I don't know, man. I don't know if they should, because how are you going to ask a studio like Naughty Dog to make a live service game when they're used to making single player, narrative driven experiences? It's an experience. It's a game, but it's really an experience, right? You're experiencing a story the way they want you to experience. When you make a live service game, you don't have that experience. You take that away from the developer and you're making the user create that experience on their own. The cool thing about WoW is not the story of WoW. How many times have you heard people talk about the story of World of Warcraft? I don't know the fucking story, but you know what I do hear is the cool shit people get to do in there, you know? The crazy raids, the crazy things they've done. It's like EVE Online. The people on EVE Online aren't playing EVE Online for the story. They're playing EVE Online to get in there and fuck some shit up with some crazy big battles. It's like Helldivers 2. I'm not playing Helldivers 2 because of the lore, Mayo. All right? Oh, the lore is so intriguing. I'm so into this story against the bugs and the automatons. I don't give a fuck. I'm there to fuck some shit up, and some guy's yelling orders at me, telling me that I need to go attack this planet because it's being invaded by some motherfuckers, and I'm gonna land there and fuck some shit up. That's what I'm doing, and that's the fun of it, you know? But when you ask Naughty Dog all of a sudden to create a game that's like, all right, well, we want you to make a live service game. Not a single player game, not not a narrative game. Just make a live service game or a multiplayer game. I don't think they can deliver. And I think that's why that Last of Us 2 multiplayer shit was canceled. Because I think at the end of the day, Sony saw what they made, and
I haven't messed with it
Sony was
yet,
like,
but the remastered whatever, doesn't it have some kind of multiplayer thing in it?
no,
I haven't looked at it, but
no.
I wasn't sure if that was co-op or
I
what
don't
was
think
that?
But Jesus, on The Last of Us 2, you talk about the live service game, and this is coming from me, not anybody on the internet. But what if that live service game was more of a company, like it was actually in the game at launch, like with Last of Us 2? Do you think it would have been a success then, or
No, I don't think that they could make it. That's
yeah?
not that's not me being a fucking dick and being disrespectful to Naughty Dog. Listen, Naughty Dog is a master of what they do. They are some of the best people at doing what they do. They know what the fuck to do. But I'm not gonna go ask Mayo to go work on a fucking airplane when he works on his Camaro.
Right.
You know, I'm not gonna go to Mayo and be like, "Hey, Mayo, I got a jet, and I need you to install this fucking jet engine for me on the jet. I know you installed something in your car, but I need you to work on this jet plane for me." Like, it's not gonna happen. Mayo's gonna be like, "Fuck you, dude. Like, I'll YouTube it. You know,
Yeah,
I'll try to figure it out." But you can't ask. I don't think you can ask Naughty Dog to do that. It's just like you couldn't ask. I don't think Microsoft can go to fucking Rare and ask them to make a cool RPG. Well, maybe they could ask them to make a cool RPG. That's a bad example. Let's see. I don't
I
think they
know
could go to like.
Bethesda did it with Elder Scrolls,
They
but the
can't go to
fans were asking for that.
They can't go to 343 Industries and tell the Halo people to all of a sudden make a fucking immersive narrative storytelling with a super like crazy Naughty Dog style fucking story being told. They're gonna fuck it up. All they know how to make is some linear ass shooter with a halfway decent story that has action in it. But you couldn't get them to make an RPG. We want you guys to make a Halo RPG with Master Chief, but like not Master Chief. You make your own character, and he has his own narrative, and you could do whatever you want. And it's an RPG like Skyrim, where we want them to do whatever they want. They almost kind of tried that with Halo 5 being open world, and they kind of fucked that up.
Do I get a sword as Master Chief? I don't know. Does he do magic? No, but
I
Jesus,
just
I was thinking when that with the CEO, not Jim Ryan, but I think in Japan CEO, or somebody at Sony was talking about these live service games, and I just assumed he was referring to like maybe different studios, maybe not like you said like Naughty Dog or Sucker Punch or anybody, and because I know what he was talking about. He was talking about how these things, yeah, they're hit or miss, but some of them just rain in money, right? So, like, that's what he was kind of after, right? Like, man, we make a hit, we make a fucking hit, like, yeah, I think it'll just bring the money in. Like, I thought he was talking about creating like new IPs or something. And I thought that's cool, right? If they could do that and, really make success out of these, these new MMOs, like, that's awesome, cool.
by March of next year, okay, by March of 2025, Sony originally had planned to release 12 live service titles.
Yes.
12. And they recently cut that down to 6, which is still a lot of live service games
Yeah, it is.
releasing in
Overzealous.
in that
Why
amount
not?
of time.
Yeah.
But 12, dude? 12 live service games?
I think that was just more for the stockholders, right? That kind of pitch, right? That's who he was speaking to. I get it, right? But I was kind of like ambitious about it too. I'm like, that's right on, I don't see 12 coming. We knew that wasn't true, but again, for the shareholders,
how good did Overwatch 2 do?
You never hear about that game, do you? I don't think it did bad, but you never hear of it.
That's a live service game. How good is Destiny doing right now?
Ooh, yeah, not so hot, right?
How good is Diablo 4 doing?
Not so great, yeah.
That is a big franchise. You can't say Diablo 4 is some little fucking game. Diablo 4 was hyped as fuck.
Yeah.
How good is Diablo 4 doing right now? How good will Helldivers be doing in 8 months? I don't see it having the same amount of players playing in 8 months.
Yeah, not if they don't add new crazy modes like you were talking about, right? That's
exactly
where you got to keep going, right? You got to keep
people get bored.
Yeah.
People get tired of doing the same shit over and over and over. I'm kind of like at a point, like I told you guys, where I'm like, I'm at level 25, 26, and I'm like, man, I kind of seen everything this game has to offer almost, right? I'm just playing it now to grind to unlock everything. And once I hit that, what's the point? It's like your son the other day. I was playing with your son, Mayo.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. He got on because I randomly sent him an invite on Steam. I didn't know who he was because his name was different on Steam or whatever. It was like bipolar or something on there.
Yeah, he's got like 2 or 3 Steam accounts.
I was like, who the fuck is this bipolar guy, and why is he my friend? So I invited him to the game, and he joined me and Nipron. And me, Nipron, and him were running missions. And your son's really good actually at the game. Like, he carried us pretty good. He was pretty high up level. He was like level 35 or 39 or something. And even him, he was saying like, yeah, I'm kind of done with this game. Once I reach level 50, I just won't play
the same. Like he moved on. They moved on to the Forest. Sons of the Forest.
He's like, I'm gonna play the Forest game. He's like, but I might check out Helldivers 1 and see if I like it. And I was like, oh, that's cool. But see, even that, like, at a certain point, people grind, but they hit a wall where they just don't see the benefits of it anymore. Like,
he got to the point where he quit getting new stuff and he was just playing to play, basically.
Yeah, it's like the reason I play Call of Duty and Battlefield every randomly. Like, I'll get on my Battlefield binges and my Call of Duty binges. It's because it's what I know and what I like to do, right? It's there, it's always there. Do I need to play Call of Duty? No, I've gone 3 weeks now without playing it. And I'm still alive. I might be having a little withdrawal symptoms, though. But
you're a little different, though, Jesus, right? Because we know there's people that I have at work that that's all I play is Call of Duty. Or that's all I play is Madden, right? Or something,
Yeah, I'm
sure they get tired of it, but yeah.
But they
don't
just
think
keep
playing it anyway.
Day, though, either. I think they play.
But they don't. Yeah, you're right. They don't. Yeah, they don't.
Warzone is another one, another success. That's another great live service example.
They play they'll play around every night, or they'll play every other night, or they'll play every weekend. Then yeah, you play the same game.
Same game, same map. Yep, just grind.
I don't see 12 live service games even being a fucking thing, man. Like,
no, I knew that wasn't true. Like, I was like, yeah, not gonna happen. But some of them I thought were gonna be like little indie ones. But yeah. 6 was more realistic.
Anyways, in other news, 16,000 game industry layoffs so far this year, Mayo. 16,000.
That's worldwide. That's a lot still, even for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
You just see it all the
crazy.
time in the news. If you follow the news, it's like every week you hear another.
Something new, yeah.
Yeah.
Every week, yeah, it's something.
So, I mean, yeah, according to this website, last year in total there was about 11,250 layoffs. We're at 16,000.
I don't know. They keep talking. Some keep talking about the liquidity of the market. I guess that's the flow of the money. That's
Yeah.
throughout the gaming market. I don't know what that means, but does that make
Who
sense to you,
knows, man?
Jesus? I don't know what
Who
that
knows? Who
means.
knows what's gonna happen, man, with the game industry?
Yeah, a lot of games out there, right? A lot of good games. So
A lot
many
of
now.
bad, a lot of bad games too.
Yeah.
Another news: Nvidia may have just hit its iPhone moment of AI. Mayo. Okay, Nvidia is now the top dog. Mayo. It's $1 trillion company at this point, and they now have 500 Mayo AI powered apps, and they were one of the first investors in AI on RTX PCs and workstations, with more than 100 million users benefiting from these advances. Generative AI and GeForce RTX GPUs provide a smooth gaming experience featuring higher frame rates. GeForce RTX AI PCs and NVIDIA RTX workstations ship with sophisticated hardware to help AI run faster. The AI accelerators are called tensor cores and help boost the AI performance, especially when using resource-hungry apps. For context, AI performance is measured in teraops, or trillion operations per second, tops. GeForce RTX GPU's AI performance ranges from 200 to 1300 AI tops. This is a significant bump from the 10 to 45 tops range on current generation of AI PCs without a GPU. So that's crazy. So that means RTX has the lock on this, man. Where do you see this going? RTX, NVIDIA with their RTX tech have the lock right now on AI.
Mm-hmm.
As you heard there, their AI performance on their RTX GPUs range from 200 to 1300. That is over 4 times the current generation of AI PCs without a GPU. So that means their performance is outperforming like crazy, even the regular AI PCs.
Right.
And that's crazy. I mean,
Yeah. It
they
feels like a corner in the market right now early. Like they.
yeah. They unveiled their new AI powered chatbot dubbed Chat with RTX. But unlike chatbots like ChatGPT and Microsoft Copilot Mayo, this chatbot runs locally on your PC with GeForce RTX PCs and NVIDIA RTX workstations, and they do not send your data to cloud servers. The capabilities include video upscaling, which can improve the quality of low resolution videos to 4K high resolution, high dynamic ranges, and using a single click on Microsoft Edge and Google Chrome browsers. Next is the NVIDIA Broadcast app, which is accessible for free to all RTX users. And it says here, the app ships with AI capabilities to improve video conferencing and live streams. It can achieve this by eliminating the unwanted background clicking noise from keyboards during meetings. You can also blur your background during meetings, etc. Enhance low quality images using the video noise removal feature. So yeah, pretty much they're cornered the market right now, I think,
Sounds
with
like it.
AI. I mean, it shows, man. The company's worth a shoulder of money right now. It went up like we talked about the numbers last time, right? We said it
Yeah.
went from like
Yeah. We
what
were
Yeah.
talking about it.
$90 a share to $860 right now
Jeez.
in like 4 years, 5 years.
I feel like the concern though is like if you think about it, it's like when they move on to AI type stuff, that they're gonna push away from graphics card making down eventually. You know, like
You think
so
so?
then
You think eventually
it's just like
they'll
a
be like,
side thing for them right now. They're making so much money in AI. They may just eventually be like, we don't need to do this graphics card thing. You know why?
yeah, yeah, I don't know.
Less hardware. Come on now, right? Yeah.
That would kind of suck, right? Because we're all RTX users, but
Yeah, yeah. We're like, oh, we're making all this money in AI. We're gonna focus on that, and then that's what we're gonna do
yeah,
from
because
there on out.
they won't need to make GPUs. Or
Yeah, they
what if?
probably already don't.
Or just
Or
get bigger server farms, right?
or what if they just start making GPUs cheaper? More
Hmm.
people have their GPUs now.
Yeah, that would be
If they
nice.
can, if they can get more people to use their GPUs and somehow connect all these GPUs to the internet and even power their AI even more, then what does that do? They make a
Hive mind. The hive mind.
super duper AI, Mayo. That's right. In other news, Warner Brothers is addressing volatile AAA console space with live services and mobile free-to-play. The gaming business of Warner Brothers Discovery has been historically focused on AAA console games, but the company's CEO and president of global streaming and games, JB Perrette, wants to change that. As reported by GameSpot, Perrette shared a bit about his vision for the gaming business yesterday at the Morgan Stanley Technology, Media, and Telecom Conference. That's a long name. He said, "We see the world, and whether it be VR devices, the Vision Pro, the virtual world, who knows exactly how it evolves. But certainly, those types of platforms are only going to increase in scale and adoption. And having 11 owned studios, where we're not just a publisher of games, but actually a developer of games, we think it is a different asset for us." Perez said most of WB Games' business to date has been driven by 4 separate franchises so far. First off, is Mortal Kombat. Second, Game of Thrones. Third, Harry Potter. And fourth, the DC Universe. Each of which is a billion-dollar industry in itself. The challenge we've had in our business historically in games has been very AAA console-based. That's a great business when you have a hit like Harry Potter. It makes the year look amazing. And when you don't have a release, or unfortunately we also have disappointments, like example, we just released Suicide Squad this quarter, which was not as strong. It just makes everything very volatile. Perret had 2 main answers to address this volatility. The first of which was expanding into mobile and multi-platform free-to-play games, which could give us a much better and more consistent set of revenue. The company will move fairly quickly on that front, he said, with Perret noting that there are mobile free-to-play games expected to launch later this year that it hopes will start building on that goal. The second way WB hopes to address the volatility of its gaming business is through live services. So rather than just launching a one-and-done console game, how do we develop a game around, for example, Hogwarts Legacy or Harry Potter, that is a live service game where people can come in and live and work and build and play in that world on an ongoing basis, Perret said. Perret said that he also noted that the company's new gaming strategy is still at an early stage of development, and that is efforts to overhaul the streaming Max business, but he expects this strategic focus to result in more growth for the gaming side of the business sometime in the year of 2025 through 2027. So this guy is going to live service. They're going mobile and live service, they're saying, from their AAA games.
Yeah. I don't like that, right? Like
I don't like it
I
either.
want a Harry Potter 2, right? Like I don't want
I want a
Yeah.
Hogwarts Legacy 2, not no stupid fucking Harry Potter wand magic on mobile.
or yeah, or like
Yeah.
like, Harry Potter universe, right? On everything, but it's
I
a
don't,
live service, open world
listen, man,
MMO.
I don't want to have
But
to spend money to use my wand on my phone because
yeah.
because I didn't do my daily login or something. Like I don't want to do that, dude.
I know what he's saying, right? That's where the money is, right? And if this is a hit, and hey, it's $1 billion each on each 4 of these different things. So hey, if we lose 200 million, Jesus, who cares, right?
Yeah, I guess.
Right? Trying out this new venture of live
You
service
can't-
stuff.
How the fuck do you make Mortal Kombat live service?
Yeah, that would be hard. I guess.
How? Oh man, I'm gonna have an MMO with Mortal Kombat characters. You make your own fighter in Mortal Kombat, and you run around and fight everyone you see. How the fuck
Maybe-
is that gonna work?
Was it like Street Fighter 6 that did that little open world thing where you had the different
Yeah,
gyms you
yeah.
could go into and you could fight random people? I don't know.
How the fuck? Ain't no way, dude. Fuck, man. I want live service to fail so we get better AAA games.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
It's not gonna
I don't
happen.
mind it
man.
like in some
We're-
games, but like some games just
We're
don't
old
work,
heads, man. We're old heads, man.
like a live service GTA, great,
These new fucking
live
kids want
service,
their
other
fucking.
game, no.
They want their fucking Fortnites and their fucking Minecrafts and their fucking bullshit ass fucking Harry Potter wand magic. That's what they want, and it sucks.
Are AAA
Because-
games dying here, Jesus? What's going on?
Dying, dude. When are we gonna get Gears of War 6? Never. Because guess
Probably
what?
not.
It'll be some stupid. Oh, well, Microsoft. Phil Spencer said we're making a live service game. Oh, I don't want that. The fuck, man.
Old
Who's
school,
gonna-
man. That's what we want.
Who's gonna make the cool games now? Is GTA 6 gonna be the last cool game to ever come out?
I think
No,
Rockstar,
no,
is going to
the
be the last
last, the
true
last
AAA
one,
studio. They're
the last.
quadruple A. I'll just say it right now. Rockstar is quadruple A.
If anyone can claim a quadruple A status, Ubisoft, it's fucking Rockstar Games with GTA, man. Not you with your
Right.
fucking stupid live service pirate fucking hobo game. That's not even like a good pirate game.
You know
How
what
does
you
your
can now
shit?
do, Jesus? You know what you can now do? You were only able to do it once in GTA 5, but now you'll be able to do it again. You know what that is? You
What?
can drive the train in a new mission
Wow.
in GTA Online. You can now steal the train.
Cool.
That's innovative right there.
I don't know, man. I don't know. We'll see. The world's changing, and
Yeah,
we're old heads, and we're just not like. I mean, pretty soon AI is going to replace us. We're not even going to be doing the podcast. It'll just
Right.
be AI that sounds like us, and then we won't even be here. You won't be here anymore, Mayo. Gunny
Yeah, it'd be
won't be
like
here anymore.
it's gonna be 2077, and we're gonna be
We
AI,
won't even
Gunny, Mayo, and Jesus.
we won't even be gaming anymore, and the
there's going to
podcast
be
is
some
simply
kind of thing,
going.
Jesus, like you said. There's going to be a law, Jesus. I think what it is, like,
What's the law?
well, here it is. It's going to be 2074, right? And it'll be Gunny Mayo. Jesus walks a lot doing the podcast, and we'll sound exactly like we are right now. And then, of course, I'll be long gone, right? I'll be dust in the wind, man. But so what it'll probably be some kind of new fucking law, right? Going forward, not now, but later on. Anybody that dies, we can use their AI technology. That's already
Oh,
been.
fuck.
See, yeah,
Oh
yeah, Jesus. So
no!
when you
And
die,
then
that's it.
and
I'm
then we
using your
signed,
AI
and then
tech,
and then we agreed to it when we
your
signed
likeness.
when we used the podcasting app, the hosting app. We agreed to them using our voices.
Yeah,
Correct. You
right.
see where this is going? Huh? You're catching on.
to it.
Yep.
We agreed to it, Mayo. We didn't even know we agreed to. I agreed to it.
Yep.
Fuck.
I accepted. I just scrolled through and hit accept because I wanted to, get the
I didn't want
podcast
to
going.
read.
And before I
I
know
didn't,
it,
want, I didn't read the fine print. It says they can use our voices for AI in the future, 2077.
but that's okay. I'll be dead. I won't give a shit. I really won't. I guess I'm gone.
Oh man, that sucks. The future sucks. Why does the future look so bleak all of a sudden? Oh
Right? Yeah.
man, we're getting replaced by AI. No more good games. Everyone's live service. This podcast will be live service. Oh, you want to hear Mayo answer Jesus' question? Pay $2 right now to hear the answer.
There you go.
Oh,
Get in the
you want
super
to?
chat. Give me
Oh man,
$5 right now. Boom. There we are.
you
You
want
get
Gunny
like
to answer Jesus?
you get the first 5 minutes of the podcast for this much, and you got to pay for the next five
You
minutes.
you get the intro. That's it. You get the first 2 minutes. You get the part where I say "Welcome to the show," and then you have to pay $2 to continue for 3 more minutes. I
Your
mean,
free demo is up.
hey man, listen. At a three
That's your
hour
trial.
podcast, as a 3 hour podcast, every 5 minutes making $2, we'd be fucking rich. You know,
Too
never
bad
have to
we'll be
work.
dead, right? We don't know who gets the money. Probably the big AI corporation.
Nvidia will get our money.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're now worth 3 trillion.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're worth fucking 10 trillion at that point. Yeah, they'll get the money. It's fucking crazy, dude. AI is scary, man. Speaking of AI, Mail, I know you want a pet. I know you have a pet, but I know you want a new pet to replace the pet that just passed away in your family. Well, let me
Mhm.
tell you about the Sony Aibo. It is a robotic puppy powered by AI, Mail. Okay?
Okay.
Listen, it is designed to sit halfway between being a pet and being a toy. It was first launched in 2018 and it has now been augmented with AI design to make it act and behave realistically to the extent, Mayo, that it can now recognize their owner's face or voice and adapt their behavior to your personality. Its AI algorithm live in the cloud, meaning that IBOs learn collectively. All IBOs can learn from the experience of one IBO, and it can learn to recognize and respond to over 100 different faces. But it's priced at just under $3,000, Mayo. This isn't a cheap child's toy, but it
They
might be
used to
worth
be,
it.
right? Remember the IBOs? I don't know if they were just available in Japan at the time or if they were
Listen,
available here
man,
in North America.
this thing, okay, listen.
That was before AI, of course, but
what it says on the website, it says, over time, this pup will get to know his name and respond to you when you call them. Aibo is crazy about toys, especially the pink ones. Aibo will get to know different members of the household and their personalities. Aibo listens to your commands and will demonstrate a variety of tricks. And when you pet Aibo, Aibo senses this interaction and will be happy. If tired, Aibo will return to the charging station by itself. How
ooh,
the
you know
fuck
what?
does the robot get tired? How,
The
Mayo,
batteries run down.
Mayo, you know
does the
what?
robot get tired?
I have the great. I have the good. I can tell you exactly why Ibo. You need to replace your pup right now with Ibos because Ibos does not
Oh.
chew on your wires or the foam on your microphone.
True.
Oh, this is expensive, man. It's
Yeah, 3 grand.
$2,900 for the eyeball thing. If you want the AI cloud plan, it's $300 a year. If you want the eyeball water bowl mayo, that's $20. The food bowl is another $20. The paw pads is $10.
So
You
what?
could
What
buy.
does the food bowl and water bowl do?
I think it makes it like they're probably like have some like chip in it or something that like make it to where it goes and eats
Does it poop the
water.
chips out like the microchips?
Listen,
Right,
I got this
right,
about
right.
this
Do I
item.
have to walk this thing daily? Like,
Listen, yeah, man,
Does
it's
it
a real
bark all the
AI,
time?
bro. Listen, use the My Aibo app to feed Aibo virtual water. Aibo will find its water bowl and happily drink out of it. See Aibo devour its water using augmented reality mayo with the My Aibo app. Boom. You want to know what it has? That's where you can feed it mayo with an app, and then you point the camera at it, and then you see the water in the bowl, and then it drinks the water from the fucking bowl, mayo. $20.
Pre-order
Get
it
the
now,
review.
Mail.
I think Jesus needs to order this. He's got all the money over there right now.
I ain't buying no stupid fucking Aibo. What
I'm gonna get one for my kid.
you gonna get one for your kid?
Yeah,
Gunny just says, fuck it, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna get one for my kid.
that'll be
You
so.
get,
He'll be 18 in 2 months. I think it would be a good gift.
get a good
Yeah,
gift, dude. Yeah, teach him
yeah. Just
responsibility and shit.
yeah.
An
Just
AI
send him
dog.
off. Send him off to college and give him a pet Ibo so to keep him company.
Oh, listen, Aibo Patrol. Oh, okay, listen. When Aibo Patrol launches later this year in version 2.0 system software update, listen, he will gain new abilities, Mayo. He will be able to patrol rooms, report on findings with photos, and more.
Ooh,
Oh,
Listen, yeah. Says here, you can register the names and faces of up to 10 people that you want Aibo to find in your house. As Aibo moves around the house, automatically gathering positional information, you can use the My Aibo app to view the maps Aibo creates. With that data, you can select locations for Aibo to patrol and then assign names to the patrol route. My Aibo also lets you check out reports on Aibo's patrol status, and when patrol time rolls around, Aibo will play the Puppy Patrol melody and head to the target destination. Find a person of interest and show off some adorable moves. People actually buy this fucking
no.
thing? Ain't
Now
no
all they
oh
can
fucking
yeah.
picture,
way,
right?
dude.
I
Right
mean,
now,
there's
all they
no.
can picture is running around your house taking pictures and then uploading it to the Ibos servers or
All the
whatever.
Right,
all
or
the
on TikTok
Aibos.
or something. So I think
They're
cheating
gonna
on your
have the
significant
layout.
other is going to be out of the question.
They're gonna have the layout of your whole apartment or house. They're gonna have all your information. They'll be like,
What the fuck? Like, yeah, it's crazy. AI is crazy. I saw a video the other day where it was a guy, right? I don't know what company it was. I don't know if it was a university or a company or just a guy at his house. But he was talking about how he's making an AI, and he has an AI that he's trying to teach like a child. So he looks at the AI. It's on his screen, right? And he looks at it, and it looks like a baby. It looks like a little baby, and he's talking to it, and the AI responds to him like the baby reacts to the way he's talking to him. And then he's saying that he's doing it to see how much you can teach an AI to be like a human by just interacting with them like a human. But I'm thinking to myself, how are you interacting with it like a human when you don't touch it, you don't hold it, you don't feed it, it doesn't have needs like that. So I don't know what the extent of that is. But he says the AI responds to him with his voice and responds to voice commands that he gives it and tells like it can respond to his his emotion when he talks to it, like if he's angry, if he's sad, if he's happy, if he's excited. The AI reacts like the baby will smile, the baby will cry, the baby will be sad, the baby will laugh. And then the AI can also see him through the camera. So the AI can see his expressions on his face when he's talking to it and what he's doing. I'm thinking to myself, what fucking kind of world do we live in nowadays, Mail? What crazy motherfucker is doing this? This is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy.
Yeah, well, this goes back to, you were talking about that, but I'm thinking about that. Who was the hot tub streamer Amaranth? And remember, she had, talked about, she's going to have her own chat GDP or whatever, and how you can use your voice commands, but mostly just do a lot of typing, and how her AI will respond, and then remember we were talking about that, and then she was talking about, well, it's not going to be like, it's going to be all sexual answers and all this stuff, right? It was in conjunction with, who was it? It wasn't Twitch, but it was another company. But I just thought, my gosh, are you just going to spend all your time just chatting with an, AI personality? If that's,
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a good thing or not. But I don't know, Jesus.
I don't know, man.
So I don't know, Jesus. Like, who's your favorite Star Wars character? Do you have one? Like, do you
Darth
currently
Vader.
have? Huh?
Darth Vader.
Okay, so Darth Vader. Like, I don't know if there was a chat GDP for, or an AI character for Darth Vader, and would you use something like that where you can
no.
see him on the screen or whatever? Like, it's just maybe not
You
full
haven't talked to
motion,
me?
but
No, man. For what? Like, what am I gonna do talking to an AI? Like,
time to go to work,
okay.
Jesus. I don't know, something. Yeah, be
Listen,
waking you up in the morning.
I don't know, man, if I can do that. Like,
But maybe this
unless-
generation, Jesus, the younger generation is right. That's for them.
the only way I would talk to an AI like that, like daily, just have conversations with it, is if it was like an AI like that. Have you ever seen the movie Her?
No.
It's a really good movie. It has Joaquin Phoenix in it. And Her,
Yeah, I vaguely remember that.
It's a movie kind of based in like the future, almost, Mayo, where this company made an AI, and I forget what it's called. Maybe it's called Her. Maybe it's called something else.
I
But
think it was Her.
but the AI pretty much is a female AI companion. This female AI companion, you can talk to it like a real person, and it knows your answers. It knows what you're telling it. It knows how to respond to you. It adapts to you, and it remembers things about you, and it starts to like adapt itself to you, right? And that what ends up happening in the movie, it's a good movie. He ends up falling in love with the AI, and crazy shit happens. That's the only way I could think that I would be able to talk to an AI, if I could like legit just have a natural conversation without prompting it, without like having to prompt it to say something to me. You know what I mean? Where like you could just talk naturally, like I'm talking to you guys right now, and you guys just naturally respond to me. You know, that's about the only way I think I could talk to an AI. But even then, it would be kind of weird because we grew up in a generation where we didn't have this shit. And I think you're right. I think the younger generation, like we call them. Some people call them the iPad kids, right? The little kids that grew up with iPads in their hands the whole time as
Right.
little babies.
Yeah.
They're called the iPad generation, the iPad kids. I think the iPad kids are gonna adapt that shit like nothing. I think it's gonna be just natural. It's gonna be weird to not have an assistant, like a virtual assistant to them. It's gonna be odd.
Yeah.
You know, when they go visit Mayo in his retirement home at fucking age 80, and your grandkids come, Mayo, and they're like, Papa Mayo, how come I told the fridge to give me orange juice and it didn't open? And you're like, because you got to open the fucking door and get the fucking OJ yourself. And they're like, oh, it doesn't just give it to me? You know?
Right.
They're gonna be all confused, right? Like, it doesn't just serve me my OJ? Like, I wanted OJ. It didn't just give it to me. You know what I mean? It's just gonna be normal to them, dude. It's like, I always think about this moment that I had with my daughter a long time ago when she was like maybe 5 or 4, something like that. She was like 5 or 4. But I was letting her use my laptop, right? She was using my regular laptop. And instinctively, she started touching the screen. And the reason she was touching the screen is because she thought it was like an iPad. She thought this is like a touchscreen. I could just scroll with my finger. And I was like, no, it's not a touchscreen. I was like, you got to use the mouse. And she's like, what? What is that?
What kind of primitive crap is that? Right?
Yeah, like she had no idea as a
touch the keyboard?
5-year-old. Yeah, like as a 5-year-old, she didn't understand. Like, what do you mean I have to use this little fucking screen down here? I can't just touch the screen. And Yeah, man, like that moment, that's when I realized, oh fuck. Like the future, dude, little kids will not give a fuck about not having tech. They will embrace all the tech. It's just gonna be a part of their life,
Yeah.
you know? You and I and I think really my generation is one of the last ones that have like an in between, right? Like we kind of embrace it, but we kind of are wary of what it can happen, what could happen with creature that could go bad. We watched the Terminator. We know what could happen, Mayo. But these little kids, they've never seen the Terminator. They don't care. They don't care.
No.
It's crazy. It's the future.
Yeah.
So you better have your AI fridge ready for your grandkids, Mayo.
Yep, working on it.
Get your IBO.
And then your fucking
dog.
your IBO dog, 'cause they're gonna be like, you have a real dog that actually poops and pees?
Right. I have to take it
What is
outside
that?
occasionally. Like,
What is that thing? That thing smells. What is that? What is that thing? What is that creature you have there? It's a real dog.
You can pre-order. There is an espresso edition for the IBO if you want the
Oh,
darker color ones. I don't know if you saw that one.
oh wow! It's a no. I don't want that one. I
This
don't
is
want
an
any of them.
espresso
Why are you
black
telling me
color.
that? I don't want any. I don't want any IBO, man. I don't know, dude. It's just the future. Oh, that IBO looks pretty cool though. The black one. It
Yeah.
looks cooler. It looks cooler than the silver one.
Yeah, it's kind of like a
Payments
two-tone.
payments as low as $121 a month. No, dude. No. What the fuck? No, man. Like, why? What are the reviews on this thing? No reviews have been submitted yet.
No, I think it's a pre-order, isn't it? It's not out yet. Or I just went to the Sony website.
Who the fuck? I want to know someone who owns this thing. Who? We need to find someone. Okay, all the people listening out there, go to all your fucking friends and family and ask anyone if they know anyone that owns a fucking IBO dog. I want to talk to them and ask them why the fuck they decided to spend $2,900 on a robot dog that could spy on you, and for what reason?
Yeah.
What was the
I would-
reason? Why would you not go to the fucking animal shelter and get a real dog for $10?
Yeah, I don't know if I'd want this thing going around to each room and taking pictures of my wife
Everything.
and children, right, and uploading it to
And
Facebook or something.
not just that, but recording your voices constantly because it's got to listen to you constantly, right?
Yeah.
Oh wow! Listen, Mayo, you can potty train your IBO to pee in a certain location, or teach IBO to wait for you at the door when you return from work, Mayo.
I already get that with my dog, like you said, for free.
Wow, Mayo, you can do all this.
You don't have to pay for food, man, but I guess you do have to pay for the cloud and the service and
It's
the hefty
300
payment to buy the thing.
$300 a year for the fucking cloud crap. Wow, just fucking. Does this thing eventually die?
The
Is that like a
battery,
thing?
right? I guess, or you can just replace it. It's probably every 2 years, I would
It'd
assume.
just be like really outdated software at some point in time.
Or like
it'd
it
just be
breaks.
limited.
It's just
No, but you're paying for the cloud, man. It's going to evolve, right?
No, but
Wouldn't
it
it
might
evolve?
have
The AI evolve over time.
technical
it
limitations,
says
right?
it
Like
says
could
that
be-
it grows. It says on the app that it grows up. It starts off as a puppy.
Now it's just
It
like when it gets
grows-
older, is it
grows
just going to
up.
fart all the time and like a low growl versus a
Just
little
walk.
bark?
It starts moving really slow through your house. It can't keep up. It's an old dog now, so it can't go fast anymore.
Right?
It just goes really slow around your house because
Well,
it's an old.
time to buy a new
Also-
one.
Old Yeller, we're ready to put him down.
Right, then you gotta buy a new one.
I want to know someone that works at a vet office that someone brings this fucking shit into the vet. I want to. Oh my god, that would
Oh,
be a funny
my
video.
dog is getting old. He's moving a little slow. Is there anything wrong with
Can
him?
you guys, sir? This is a fucking toy. No, it's not. It's my fucking dog.
Part of the family.
I want to see someone do the video like that. They go in there all serious with the fucking robot dog to the vet office. So I want to know what the fucking vet would say. They'd be like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?"
It'll happen. I'm sure it'll happen at some point.
Oh fuck! Bring a robot dog to the vet. Oh my gosh, it's the future, dude. You know what? Maybe we should do something now. Okay, listen, guys, we're making fun of this, but what if me, you, and Gunny open the very first IBO robot vet office?
Oh yeah.
Listen,
We could do house calls.
yeah, we go and we service your IBO for you.
Yeah, there you go.
Damn, that'd be a good one.
Listen, man, people break this. I'm sure this thing will break eventually, right? Like, I don't know, your little kid kicks it
We'll
or
call it
something.
Kick it
grooming
down
and
the steps
upgrading.
or
Yeah,
step on it
someone
when it's
kicks it.
begging for
Yeah.
food.
Some little kid kicks it down the steps, thinks it's a toy, throws it outside in the rain or something.
Maybe a
Now we're
leg
starting to
falls
get
off.
now we're getting the Detroit becomes human abuse here. You know,
I know, right? We're gonna have people arrested. Sir, we're calling the cops. This is cyber abuse. We're calling the police right now. The AI cop is gonna show up in about 10 minutes.
It's
He's
all
on
been
his
recorded
way.
on IBO. Yeah.
Ibo recorded the abuse. We're gonna call police right now. Like, think about it, man. We're making fun of it, but that's the future, right? We should embrace it and make the first Ibo vet clinic. And we could go nationwide and be like exclusive. We're the exclusive Ibo vet clinic. Yeah. Then we'd be
Groom
set.
and repair. I like it.
We'll we'll teach their Ibo to be like a puppy again. We just we just hit the
Speaking,
reset button.
speaking of that, Mayo just left with his puppy, his real life flesh and blood
Oh,
puppy. Take it out
that
for.
hobo, that hobo thing. You
See,
nobody
you
care
wouldn't
about
have to do
that.
that with IBO.
Yeah, Ibo don't need that. Ibo don't care. Ibo's like, I'll still right here in charge.
It's all virtual, all right? No
That's crazy.
mess.
Anyways, I think we're done. I have no more news. I was looking at video game news, but there's really no more news, man. Like all the news is kind of same shit we heard.
Yeah, I couldn't find anything significant even in the earlier on in the day, but
It's usually how March is though.
yeah,
March, April is when well it used to be April was when like the what you call that shit. When the E3 stuff started kind of leaking, but we don't do that anymore. So maybe like April you'll start hearing things about what Microsoft has to announce on their showcase in June. And then come May or June is when they'll do their showcase. And then Sony will probably do theirs, and then Nintendo will do their direct. Nintendo will probably show off the new Switch, and PlayStation might show off a PS5 Pro, and then Xbox might show off that new Xbox Pro or whatever the fuck they call it. Honestly, the weird thing
your new
about
controller.
the new controller. You know, the weird thing about the Xbox and the PlayStation thing though is that PlayStation seems to be doing a Pro, and people are saying like, no, this is a better hardware having system. Like it's going to run better, it's going to perform better. Meanwhile, all of Xbox's leak information is that they removed the disk drive from their Xbox Series X and added a terabyte of storage.
Yeah,
And that's it. Like they didn't really improve the performance. They just said like, we just kind of took away the disk drive and added more memory. That's it. Meanwhile, PlayStation seems to be like, no, we actually like improved the specs and made it better in performance. But
do you
maybe
think? Do you think
maybe
maybe?
it's I wonder if it's because the Xbox is already more powerful than the PS5 and they don't feel like they need to upgrade their power. I don't
Yeah,
know, man. It's
or it could
weird.
be that, it could be that PlayStation's doing that, but Xbox can't because they can't get too far away from the Series S, right? The smaller console.
Oh, you think that's what it is?
I think so.
That
I think
they
they can't
can't.
get too far away. I don't know. Does that make sense to you? Like to say, like,
Yeah, no,
oh,
it
if we
does.
improved on this, and this, but then there could be some compatibility
Yeah.
issues as far as not compatibility, but I guess as
Yeah,
far
no,
as
I
how,
agree. I think you're right.
right? Because when you look at the store, right, and you look at games, right, Series XS, right, slash S, right, that's how they, right, because they
Market
have to
is
be able to
same.
play on that system, right? Because essentially they're all the, what am I thinking? That's the same uh chip or whatever, right? That, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if you separate, if you go up too high, then on the Series S Pro, then yeah, it might cause a compatibility issue with games or software. So apps, whatever.
What do you think, Mel? Because we were just talking about like hardware and how we think that, of course, in June, it's when Nintendo will show off the new Switch, and we're thinking Sony will show off a new PS5 Pro with like improved performance and hardware. But what I was telling Gunny is, it's funny to me that all the leaks from the Xbox thing, right, the new console the Xbox has
Hmm.
coming, it shows that pretty much what they did was remove the disk drive and add a terabyte of storage to the console and change the look of it a little bit, right?
Hmm.
They changed the way the console itself looks, but they didn't change any of the performance in it. It doesn't say like, oh, we've increased the RAM or we made the RAM this speed and we overclocked the GPU and then we did some other shit and now it's going to perform better. No, like it's from all indications, the Xbox, whatever new Xbox is coming out this year, will be the same performance as the Series X that you have right now, with just more memory. Meanwhile, the
Right.
PS5 Pro rumor is the PS5 Pro will have better performance all around because they're actually making it a better performing system. And Gunny, we were telling Gunny, why do you think that is? And Gunny says that he thinks that is because of the Series S, that they don't want to get too far away from the Series
Yeah, that's what I
S.
was getting ready to say. I think because they want everything to work on everything, like he said,
But is that a
they don't
good
want to get
idea?
too far away.
When Sony's over here improving their console like performance
But
for you to
like
stay the same?
right now, I always thought like this generation, like the Series X and the PS5, right? Like most of the games have been out for the last generation consoles, right? So most of them have been out PS4. So we don't have too many games that are exclusively on the Series X or the PS5. So maybe they're thinking that would be the same case if they make a more powerful mid-generation console, like a Pro version or a point 0.5 version. So it's like you're still going to have sales. It's just going to run a little better. So how many will they sell? And they've already talked
Right.
about making a new console down the road, right? So that I think they're putting all their time into making another new console. Because they were was that
Yeah.
direct show they said it was going to be like a big leap. They're saying it's going to be a bigger leap than there was last time in power and technology or whatever. But so maybe they just don't feel that many games are utilizing the current technology. They're just running smoother. So maybe they're not going to push it. I mean, they're already more powerful than the PlayStation supposedly. So maybe they can see the PlayStation doing fine and it's less powerful. The PS5 is supposed to be less powerful than the Xbox Series X, but it plays games pretty well. Or if you get like a Pro version, you may just have all the same games on there. It's going to run a little smoother, but are people going to run out and buy another console for the same games? We need exclusive games on these systems.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. To say the PlayStation 5 Pro or
Because
whatever has better ray
if like
tracing or something, I don't know.
a
I'm
new
sure that's a
Xbox
good
comes out for me,
the
unless there was
hardcore audience.
something that was only Xbox Series X and Pro only, I wouldn't. Why would I need to upgrade? Unless I wanted higher frames, at least you
Hmm.
can guarantee 120 frames. On the new mid
Right.
console. But how many people out there have 120 hertz TVs and stuff like that?
Don't even care, yeah.
Like
Yeah.
the
I
vast
don't think
majority don't care.
I don't think I would upgrade to a PS5 Pro.
I don't plan on, especially with the
I think
PS5, but they're already saying, they're not gonna have anything come out, big until 2025, and people are like, "Oh, did I make a mistake buying the PlayStation?" Because again, how many games are only on the PS5? If you had an Xbox, or PS4, Pro, you can probably get away with pretty much playing everything that came out today yet, and you didn't even
yeah,
need 5 because there hasn't been too many games only on the 5.
well, I bet a lot of people are still playing on PS4. Like a
Yeah.
lot. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. We'll see what happens. But anyways, I think that's all we have, gentlemen. So Gunny just took off.
I think
So
he's getting kicked out of the room. He has to switch over.
we'll
We're gonna
see.
get AI Gunny here in a minute.
I know, right? AI Gunny. Boot him up, Mayo. boot,
Hold on, we're
boot,
working on firing up AI
boot,
Gunny. We're getting him running here in
boot
a
up
second.
boot
It's
up
not
AI
instant.
Gunny.
It's not instant technology anymore, but we'll get there eventually someday. But I think I got it running now.
AI
Let me
AI
put
Gunny
him in
Gunny.
here.
is here. I have
Oh,
Yeah,
hey.
arrived.
we got it.
Oh, AI Gunny. How you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you two?
We're good. Thank you, AI Gunny. Well, good thing AI Gunny exists, or else we wouldn't be
Yeah,
able to
we got
have
to introduce him into the podcast just a little bit at a time, so that way eventually he'll get a bigger
uh,
role. But
he
little by
he
little,
he
he's got to learn.
he's learning. He's learning, right? He's learning. It's AI learning technology. It's learning how to talk to us.
We figured we put him at the end of the show where he can get a little bit of practice in there.
Yeah, then we'll
Maybe
get him
eventually
full time.
we'll get him at the intro for a little while, then maybe like in the middle of the show at some point in time. Then we'll just blend
Yeah,
it all together. And then someday when Gunny's old, we'll just eliminate him. We'll have AI Gunny.
yeah. We'll have AI Gunny. We won't even need real Gunny anymore. Sorry, Gunny, we don't need you
And
anymore. We got
AI
AI
Gunny
Gunny.
probably won't play on baby mode either.
Yeah,
So
AI Gunny is really good at games. He's like the best. So he'll be playing
I'm a
everything.
pro at games.
Yeah, we know.
I play on
Eh,
insane mode.
Yeah, AI Gunny will be doing Hell Dives and Hell Diver 2 without any problems by himself.
right at level
Solo,
1.
yeah, solo Hell Dives at level 1. won't even struggle, man. It'll just know what to do. So yeah, it'll be good. Anyways, where can we find you, Mayo?
You're gonna find me everywhere on mainly right now on my PlayStation as the Mayo. Still on the Xbox, you know, Game Pass and all that stuff on PC Game Pass. And then on Discord, you can Steam. You're gonna find me as the Mayo one. What about
Cool.
you, AI Gunny? Where would we find a Gunny chief in real life?
Go find me on Xbox, on Steam, and on the Epic Store as Gamertag Gunny Chief. I also have a PlayStation 4 Pro. You can find me on
Wow.
there on HGP_Gunny.
Oh,
Where do we
wow.
find you,
Thank you.
Jesus?
Thank you, AI Gunny. Well, that's real informative. See, real Gunny would never mention the PS4 Pro. He would just be like
Nah,
Xbox, PC, Steam,
we're
but
already making this a little more thorough.
he would never mention the PS4 Pro. But AI Gunny is on top of his shit. Will find me on everything as Jesus Walks a Lot, and I'll be playing some more Helldivers 2, some more Noose Tower game, and actually I'll end up playing this week. I'll probably end up firing up the Saboteur because I bought that game on a $5 sale on Steam. It just came over to Steam like the other day, and
Mhm.
that's a game that I remember having fond memories of that game. I liked it when it came on 360. It probably looks really like shitty and really old at this point, but I don't care. I'll fire it up to remember memories, I guess. Childhood memories. Relive nostalgia, Gunny and Mayo.
There you go.
Spice. Oh, have you tried that Spice Coke, Mayo?
I have tried Spice Coke
Is
actually.
it good?
I did not like it myself.
What does it taste like?
It's kind of like a cinnamon Coke.
Oh,
It's got like a cinnamon flavor to it.
I saw it at the store the other day. I
I
was
think it's
buying
Yeah.
soda.
raspberry. I believe it's
Raspberry.
raspberry flavored.
Yeah, it's got a cinnamon flavor to it. I bought one day at the gas station. They had it on display, and so they had like a 20 ounce of it,
Yeah.
and it wasn't. It was okay. Like it,
Hmm.
I don't know. I think I'd rather drink
I
regular
saw like
Coke.
a
Like
12 pack the other day. I went to the store to buy
yeah,
soda, and
I
like
seen it at our local Kroger's in 12 pack as well. Yeah, I
it was
wouldn't.
like
I
12
don't think
pack.
I
I
could
was
do a
like,
12 pack.
what the fuck is Spice Coke? I'm like, is it like a? I thought maybe it was like a Dune fucking promotional thing or something. You know,
Right.
like oh, we got Spice Coke now from Dune the movie or whatever.
Yeah,
And
missed opportunity there, I guess. Right.
they could have totally done that, right? Like, why not? Partner up with Dune and fucking market it or whatever. It's
Yeah.
Spice Coke from Dune.
Problem is, it isn't really all that good. So,
Yeah,
like,
that's probably why.
I don't see it
The
lasting
Dune,
very long.
the Dune people tried it and were like, "Fuck this shit! Don't put our name on this."
Yeah.
It probably
Yeah, I would.
originally was planned to be a fucking thing partnered up with them, and they probably fucking
Yeah,
said
you can.
nope.
Gunny had a 20 ouncer. I think he was telling us that try a 20 ouncer before you buy a 12 pack because I think you'd be wasting your
No,
money.
no, because I also tried it a while back. I tried that Pepsi Nitro. I
Hmm.
don't know if you tried those.
I did not like that either.
I didn't like it.
It
I
was
didn't
too
like it.
creamy. It was too
Yeah.
smooth.
Yeah,
Like it.
I didn't like it at all. No, I tried that one. I was like, fuck it, I'll try it. Can when it opens up, it sounds really cool because a little
I
nitro
tried that
thing.
new. I don't know the name of it anymore. I have to go out and look at it. It's still in my car. There's like that new. Have you ever seen like on TikTok they advertise like this new soda? It's like the revolutionary soda. It's like better for you.
No,
It starts with a P. It's like Poppy or something like that.
I saw an ad for it at the theater the other day. Like,
Yeah, I tried that.
mm,
I ran across my grocery store had them in a cooler, and so I bought one, and it wasn't that good either.
hmm,
I want to say it's called like Poppy.
Poppy is a modern soda.
Yeah, yeah. It was not that good.
Join our TikTok community. So I'm guessing they're using TikTok to advertise the shit out of it.
Yeah, I seen it. That's where I seen it, and they were like, "Oh, it's a good for you, soda. It tastes good." And yeah, it's not that great.
It's like one of those like diet soda is good for you, then tastes good. No, it don't. Tastes
Um,
like shit.
no, it tastes like seltzer watery type stuff. Like it has that
Yeah, like
fizzy carbonation to it, but it tastes like seltzer kind of.
yeah, like flavored water. My girlfriend
Yeah.
drinks those. She drinks the ones from like a Costco, like the flavored water, sparkling water. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Yeah, she drinks that shit. And
I could see
I
if you
I
go from that to like Poppy, it would taste okay. But if you go back from like regular soda to
do
like
that.
the Poppy, you're like, oh, what is this?
God damn, this shit is not cheap either.
No, it was.
A 12 pack of the wild berry is $36.
And I had the cherry lime as well, and it wasn't.
Cherry limeade is $30. Orange is $27. But most of these are $30 for a 12 pack, dude.
Yeah, they were. It was like $2 and change for a 12-ounce can. It's a store buying an individual can.
A 12 pack is $2.49 a can for the classic cola. At $30 for the fucking pack. $29.98 for the pack. God damn. That's not cheap, dude. How you gonna this company's gonna go bankrupt? Ain't no fucking way, dude.
Yeah.
Coca-Cola and Pepsi are gonna have a field day with this shit. They'll just steal their idea and copy their formula and make it. Call it Coca-Cola healthy. And then that's it. Nobody gonna buy this, bro. Why are you doing buying this TikTok shit, Mayo?
I had to try it. I'm like, oh, it's right here in the store, so we'll see if it's any good. And I knew it wouldn't be, but it wasn't.
Did you do a TikTok dance as you walked out the
No,
store?
no,
Did
I
you
did not have
stop?
TikTok.
Did you stop and pop your phone up on a cart somewhere and started dancing in front of everyone?
No, it was actually when I was. It was actually last week when I was up helping my daughter. I had to work on her car, and I was picking her car up because she's a pharmacy tech in a pharmacy at a grocery store, and so I had to meet her at her work. And I was leaving, and I seen it on the way out, and I'm like, "Oh, I'm gonna try these." I seen the commercial for it, and they say it's good, you know. So I bought the one and took it out to the car, and my girlfriend was with me, and we opened it and tried it, and we each took one drink and said no. And so I poured it out, and I think the can is still in my car. So.
Oh no, that sucks. Sorry, Poppy, you did not get the approval from Mayo. Sucks for you, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, oh well. Well, it has 5 grams of sugar. Apparently, that's what it has. It's good for you, Mayo. It's
Mhm.
for a healthy gut. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't drink this shit. No way. Anyways, we're out of here, people. We'll catch you on the next episode of the Horrible Gamers podcast. We're out. Don't drink Poppy. Go buy yourself a what the fuck was that dog called again? What was that dog called?
I don't remember.
Ibo.
Ibo.
Go buy yourself an Ibo and let us service the Ibo when it breaks.
Get the chocolate espresso, Ibo.
We'll send AI Mayo to go fix your Ibo for you, and AI Gunny will go fix it too. Tell you, man, AI Vet future is coming. I'm
Yeah,
gonna own that space.
you guys got
Well,
the West Coast covered. I got the East Coast
y'all,
covered. Well, we can
y'all
meet,
make fun of me now. Y'all make fun of me now when I'm the next Jeff Bezos in 50 years. Okay, and I'm in my $1 trillion yacht. Okay, that's like half the size of the Pacific Ocean. I'm gonna be like, oh, what's up, Mayo? You're making fun of me back then, Mayo. Can't get on my yacht now.
You're going to have your own forest, right?
I'm gonna have 2 forests. I'm gonna have 2 forests, and they're gonna be 3 states big. All right, that's how big. It's gonna be all of California, all of Oregon, and all of Washington. I'm gonna own all the forests around here.
You just buy all the ones around Sweeney. Just buy 3 of them, and then just box them in so he can't
box
expand.
them in. Box them in and build some obnoxious ass roller coaster or something all around the edge of that shit. Some loud ass fucking thing that goes around it all day long and never stops.
And then you can just sell it to him eventually.
Yeah, fuck that guy. Anyways, we're out of here, everyone. Bye, everyone. Bye. We're out. Bye.
Goodbye.